Me finishing my shit.
Who did what?
How much is in there? Cause don't be up here.
I mean, we are live.
Toom. Nah, ain't that.
Okay. I'm just saying we're live. That's all I'm saying.
We are
James,
live.
You good with it?
We're live. Is all I'm saying.
I'm just asking if
I hear you. I'm just telling you.
Because what I'm saying is I'll dump it.
Okay, I'm not necessarily telling you to do that either. I'm just saying we live at this point. So
we good.
Whatever you want to do what you want to do.
All right, for sure. Let's go. Let's kick it.
Can I kick it?
Yes, I can. Hey, yo, I was listening to some Dipset shit, and the nigga was like, "Can I kick it?"
That was ass.
No, because he's a hater. He don't like Dipset. Whatever.
That doesn't make me. Those two are not. Whatever.
Yo, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it like these young niggas do. You a hater? Fuck it.
Who's y'all? I don't call nobody no hater.
What's good, McKenna? What's good, Vermin? What's good?
What up?
Yow. But no, hey yo, can I tell y'all some shit? Like it has nothing to do with my week. Huh?
It says what now?
May or may not save because it was out of storage when I first started.
Oh,
but
damn.
I cleared some up, so it should be good. But
I'm about to say the backup of that would be to have to download it from off of YouTube.
Yeah. But I already got rid. I already cleared some up, so it should be good.
Okay.
Word.
Vermin said me some hater rate.
I mean,
never that.
A lot of people.
That shit.
Listen, that
people
shit.
take sips every now and then.
Oh, I do. This shit I absolutely hate, yo. Period.
No. But
that's
like in general shit. Like I hate people. Period. Like
right. So it can be argued that there are times that I'm a hater. Like it can be argued.
No, but
argument exists.
If it's in general, it's not like I'm just hating on another person because they're doing some individual thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like
depends on what they're doing.
What's up, Biddy?
Yeah, it absolutely depends on what they're doing. What up, Biddy?
Well, okay. Well, I don't like people talking to me.
Sure.
See?
But I like y'all know. Like,
that's the thing that they're doing.
See?
And I'm just like, that because my thing is like, damn, now I gotta respond, and then I have to. Then it's like,
stop. Hold up.
No,
I gotta laugh a little harder about that. You said, "Damn, they said something to me." Shit, I gotta respond.
Right.
Then my response has to make sense to make sure that I actually.
That's work. Is that work? Is that?
And then sometimes they be like, "Oh, good morning." I be like, "How was your day?" Like, fuck. I said that shit wrong because I wasn't really listening to what you were saying. So I don't give a fuck. People are nice.
Oh man, that was funny.
I hate it here.
It was like,
I get it.
Yo, and see, that's another way to hate. Hating it here. I hate it here. I'm hating.
But I'm not hating on people for like getting the comeuppance. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's doing some good shit and doesn't affect me at all, like I don't hate on.
Oh no, I feel what you're saying.
You feel me? Like I hate.
I feel what you're saying.
I hate on shit. I just hate people because people do stupid shit. And plus, since I'm a person and I know I'm prone to do stupid shit also, that's what pisses me off. Like, I see somebody doing some dumb shit. I'm like,
yo, the self-awareness in this crew is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, y'all have no idea.
No, hold on. Pause that, Tom. What's your home?
What's my what?
No, James. That nigga said, What's your home?
No, keep going.
Because after
all will be revealed in time.
Of this crew, James like,
all will be revealed in time.
Yo, he used your Yo, that Addy has a He had I saw him when I watched the video where him and his girl was talking about the bowl and shit. I heard the He had that is like almost patent pending. Addy.
but the thing is, like, I don't be wrong when I do that shit though. All right. You know what I'm talking about.
There it is.
So I feel like James has something coming, and it's like I don't think I'm prepared for it.
He said no,
but it might not have to. But it might not have nothing to do with me though.
Maybe
But I know what that means.
I'm just saying that this one thing about this crew, people routinely admit to being dumb, routinely admit to fucking up, admit to shit that a lot of people just won't admit to. A lot of people will cap their way out of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's one of the reasons why I like.
I had the capacity to bug.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, James was saying this shit about me. Like he was like, "Yo, like you know you're known."
What up, Cindy?
I was like, "Yes, I know I'm known."
What up,
That's
Cindy?
why I always second guess myself. What's up, Cindy? Florida in the house, but I know I'm bound to trip.
Right.
And James was like, "Yeah, that's why you second guess yourself." I'm like, "Exactly." Because I know that I can't be wrong. Like I know I'm not.
It's a real thing. Yeah,
it's a real thing.
You gotta check
second guessing yourself.
It should be a default.
It should be a default. Now, don't get me wrong. Like anything else, you can OD on that shit, and then and then have a paralysis of analysis and do nothing.
Right.
Yeah. But a healthy dose of self-reflection, and also the idea that maybe your first thought with certain things isn't the way to go.
Right.
You should at the very least check your first thought. All right. Bam. Wait a minute. Is that some shit I should be doing?
Right.
You got to do a cost-benefit analysis on whether or not, and that's also a sign of maturity too, right? That's a sign of maturity to be able to not just go with your first thought, even though your first thought could be right, because a lot of times that's the case too. But you should fact check that first thought, because the same brain that fucks up everything else is the brain that came up with that first thought.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember, I made a song called "Think Before You Speak."
Yes,
I live by that mantra. I mean, not all the time. Like sometimes I get crazy. Sometimes I get
crazy. Most of the time.
Most of the time, like, yeah, don't say that.
Yo.
And then
read the room.
I've been like, yo, fam, like, I tell people that I'm around, like, yo, I ain't gonna say that. And they be like, what you mean? Because I'm about to say some crazy shit. I'll be like, I ain't gonna say that.
Yo,
I'm trying to think of a better way to say it.
So exactly. Yo, it's too many adults.
And too many words
that lack impulse control, right? Now, I expect this from children. I expect this from children because they don't have all that cognitive functioning and everything. But when you're an adult of a certain age, like, you're going to slip too, because we ain't perfect. But it should be a lot less than when you are a child. That impulse control is a motherfucker. And I've seen it.
That matters.
But yeah, it does. Yeah. It does matter, yo. And even in mundane shit like shopping, like you're literally going, like, impulse control is important, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, if you check yourself correctly, no one else can.
Yeah.
That's facts. Because I check myself with everything. Like, yo, even at my job, like, yo, I had a problem with somebody at my job. You know what I did? I didn't address that shit until we went to another place for me to address it. Because I'm like, yo, this isn't the place to address it here, because there's a whole lot of other drama at my job
that comes after that.
Interesting that you said that.
I'm like, but my thing is, I'm like that though. Like, yo, I don't have to necessarily deal with it here, but plus I'm petty, so I'm not going to forget.
But you know what though, Addy? You know what? That response you have right there is what the majority of people do on the workplace. I've recently just looked up the amount of workplace violence that takes place every year, roughly about 1.5 million. But that's a fraction of the people in the workforce.
Yeah.
The average person does not do that, does not pop off, because they know, even if some shit happens, they know there's consequences to this, and it's not worth this response here now.
And mind you, right? It's my job, and my job is messy. Like, I'm not trying to say anything about women, but if you work, well, okay, fine. Well, then I'm gonna just go out and then y'all can cancel me. But all I'm saying is, when you work in a place that has the majority of women working there, it's going to be drama.
Yikes!
Because women talk.
I don't. Niggas talk. Yo, that's one of the biggest caps that men
niggas talk every day.
Niggas got every day, B.
Listen, though, B. At my job, though, specifically, most of the drama that happens has to do with women talking.
Hold up. Did you know? You know that when I looked at those stats, the majority of people that's involved is men. Is men in workplace.
Well, then my fucking job is an anomaly. Okay.
No. The majority of victims of it though are women.
Right.
Yeah. Was it because niggas are women?
No, listen.
Why
were
that's the data.
There are two sets of data points on this. The one is that the majority of people that are involved in workplace violence or whatever, initiating it, it's men.
No, it don't be no violence.
It's men. Okay. The majority of the victims, women.
All right, check it. So
80%.
So check it, right? So there was a little people was having a little powwow and shit, like trying to fix shit and whatever, like the women in there. And like I said, there's like 80% of women in my job.
Well, you said it's 80%
women in my job.
It's more women that work there than men?
Yes.
That's why, nigga.
That's why. It's not because they women.
That's correlation, not causation.
Right. It's the majority of people are there that are women. So of course they're going to be the ones. It's more of them there. So
and I get that.
Vastly more.
So that's what I'm saying.
Not just like, a little bit more.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying, that's why at my job, that's why there's a lot of like issues.
The point is, the fact that there's an 80 to 20 disparity means that your original statement is invalid, if not unnecessary.
Right.
How?
Like you don't have
because there's not a demographic. So
no, I'm not saying I said specifically for my job.
I said your first statement. That wasn't your first statement.
And I recanted that. I
nigga, stop. You changing what you said doesn't mean you didn't say it.
Right. Right.
I'm just saying your first statement is inaccurate and unnecessary because the data that we're working with eliminates that separation being
exactly.
But the thing is, I'm allowing that to happen. I'm like, that's fine. What I'm saying is, in my situation, that's what it is, though.
You're not listening. You're not listening.
All right.
Let me hold up. Let me give you an example of what we're talking about. If you have 80% geese, right?
Don't do that.
Hold up.
No. Stop. Let me do a real one. Let me do a real one.
No,
I'm not. Listen,
it triggers me.
Yes,
I'm talking about geese.
Okay, let's take
80% of geese.
You have 80%
nigga.
Duck. Oh, you have 80% ducks. 80% ducks.
Because they're not in the same fucking.
No, just hear me out. You have 80% ducks, 20% sheep. Mm-hmm. You say, yo, one thing about our animals is they swim a lot.
Right.
And there's 80% ducks. Ducks swim. Sheep don't.
But no, let me give you a real world example. Hydra. 75% of Hydra went to meetups at the harbor, Baltimore National Harbor.
Right.
It's only if you Addy that you don't go to the harbor.
Because I don't live in Baltimore.
No, it's not that you're Addy. That's not the reason you didn't go. It's because you don't live here.
Baltimore, right? It's not because you're Addy.
I just said that because I don't live in Baltimore.
I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you. That's like saying 75% of Hydra has had sex with a female. The other one just won't.
Right.
Why? Because he's gay. Like, there's a reason, and the reason is not the factor that you mentioned.
Especially
the factor that you mentioned is completely irrelevant.
I've worked on jobs with majority men, and trust me, the bullshit,
bro,
the bullshit was there.
I be drawing with niggas like literally the other day. I was like on some shit like niggas. Like my thing is, I'm not shy. I'm just quiet. So I'm just peeping everything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when I hear niggas say some slick shit, and maybe I don't like a lot of times I don't G off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I be like, oh, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And that shit pissed me off when niggas was saying certain things. I was just like, oh, so that's what it is. So now I gotta get on my douchebag bag. You know, like not give a fuck. You know what I mean? I know niggas talk too. What I'm saying is like even in my I'm saying in my job though.
Oh, and shit starts.
The majority of the problems is always from women that have
because the majority of people are there are women. You understand what we're saying?
Yeah, no, I get that.
That makes every other factor irrelevant.
Right.
But it's going to be like that. I get that. But it just doesn't change what I'm saying. It's just like, yo, like
it does though.
It does. It literally changes what you're saying.
Because they're women, you're going to find
more trauma. I'm not saying that.
You're saying because they're the majority of on the job, of course, they're the majority of people there. So most
I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you. I understand. Like that's what it's going to be because it's the majority of women.
No, no, not because it's the majority of women. It's because
women make up the majority of the workforce.
These happen to be the people that are doing it.
Yeah.
The people that are doing it make up the majority of the people that exist there.
That's what I'm saying.
No. You're not listening. What I said did not separate anything as far as gender is concerned.
Yeah.
You're putting the causation on gender. That's a correlation.
I've sat and watched niggas gossip. I've sat and watched niggas gossip about how women gossip. I've watched this.
Okay, I ain't saying it has to do with gender. What I'm saying is the people that are doing it are the majority.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, of course, that's what's going to be the case when it ever comes to drama. It so happens it has to do with it's women that are the majority. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the thing. Like I'm okay with it.
But you keep you being okay with it doesn't matter. We're not talking about men,
right?
The fact that you keep bringing that up is completely unnecessary and ancillary.
Yeah,
and happenstance and a bunch of other words that I just can't think of at the moment.
You make me sound like I'm a mad like misogynist and all this.
I'm telling you what you're saying and what you're coming off as.
Yeah, that first statement though.
But that's correct.
You did correct, but that first statement did come off very like.
That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying, like, I noticed it, and people already told me at the job, like, that's what it is. Like,
what did they tell you?
People can be wrong too. Like,
what did they tell you? What did they tell you it was?
Too many women work here.
See, stop.
Oh, but the fact is, they say too many women work here. I don't feel like
yo. I can tell you, the sky's orange, and I can get Tim to tell you the sky's orange.
And I
want 2/3 of us are like, yo, the sky's orange. So that means it's true now.
And I just said I would have believed both of y'all niggas. I just said that.
Yo, let's move on.
You're not getting what I'm saying, B. Like
you're nothing that you are saying.
It has nothing to do with a woman. All I'm saying is it sucks that it has
you can't at the same time say because it's mostly women and it has nothing to do with women. Those two statements don't go together.
It has to do with people because I don't fucking.
There you go.
I know that.
If it was majority of men, I would be the same way with that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
so listen to what I'm saying. So 1/2, 1/2, and 2/4. They're the same thing.
Yeah, but
so there's no reason for you to mention.
No. What I said, I didn't say like, oh, it's because it's women doing it. I'm just saying like, yo, at my job. It's a majority of women, and this is a thing that happens where it's a lot of drama at my job.
Is that a cat? You know, we're not making any progress. Let's move on.
Because you're not listening.
No, I'm listening to what you're saying. You might mean something different, but what you're saying isn't changing anything.
Yeah. All right, dude. Cool.
So, Andrea, is that a cat?
But of course.
What's up, Shay?
No, Shay, he's not listening to himself, but he doesn't listen generally. So that's not really anything new. He'll get it. Like he'll get it after we get off of the show.
It's on brand.
Yeah.
No. I know exactly what I'm talking about though.
Right, but you're not expressing it well. I don't for 1 second. I don't believe.
Cindy said it.
I'm all the
He said. There's a lot of drama at your job because there are people at your job, not because those people are women specifically.
Right. But that's not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
That's what you
literally.
I said somebody else said that it's because of women. I didn't say that I believed in that shit. That I think it's women. I said I think it's because it's people. I didn't even say it sucks that it's women that are a part of that demographic. Why is this just happening? That's what I said. I didn't say it was like, oh, because it's women specifically.
You literally this. Anyway, move on. Tim.
Yes, sir.
You're weak. Oh no, actually,
I got to do the. Yeah, we got to do the intro first. Me.
No, you.
Or to quote Agent Smith, me.
Oh God.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You
and my guy Adequate.
Yeah.
And I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And we are just a few geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed.
Yes,
it's been a disappointing week.
It's been a week, man.
It's been a week. But since you asked me first, my week has been about solving problems, right? So, as most of you who are familiar know, we had an issue with the Shopify store, right? It had to do with our EIN number or whatever, and certain documents that they needed. So we had to get these documents together, get things changed. We consulted with our lawyer, did all of this stuff. You know how cool it is to say you have a lawyer. So we consulted with our lawyer, you know what I'm saying, and he, handled this. He helped us handle the situation. And as of this morning, every document that they need, they've been given. So it's going to be a process period, of course, to take them to do it or whatever. But once that process is done, then the store will be back rocking again. And
that could have been a lot more difficult.
It could have been. It really could have been. But I got to tell you, though, like, y'all know I've run businesses before.
Mm-hmm.
It is different. This is different. Because currently, Majestic Comics is not profitable currently. And we didn't expect it to be. From the standpoint of the first year, sometimes the first 2 or 3 years of any business is not really that profitable. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we doing enough to make sure the production can get done, make sure that the other expenses we have can be taken care of, and of course the startup, right? But just some of these other things when it comes to dealing with that, like even with music, like when I owned the record company, it's still different. Like it's different. There's a lot more things that I had to factor in with this than with an indie record label. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot more shit. An indie record label where, by the way, you were the artist. Like you were the artist on there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more. So we dealt with that. Also, I absolutely hated the weather this week. Like it was utter trash. And the last time when we had that really bad snowstorm, right?
Mm-hmm.
The branches from the evergreen that were it's on the left side of the house had came down because of the weight of the snow and everything, right? Big old branch, right? And we have not gotten around to getting that chopped up and sent and getting the fuck up out of here. So we first moved here. There's a shack that is built connected to the house in the backyard area, but it's connected to the house. We did not have access to that because the landlord did not clean it out, and I don't think he wanted us to use that. This is what is confusing me. So that's part of the house, nigga. That's part of the house. What are you talking about? And he was presenting. We've been here 3 years. He was presenting. When we first came here, my mother-in-law was like, "You need to get that cleaned out of all of your shit so that we can use that for storage." Mm-hmm. It's a part of the house. It's right in the backyard, which we use too. Right. And it's connected to the house. Like, what are you doing? So 3 years have gone by. That thing, to be honest, I don't want to put nothing in there now because I can only imagine what's in there and what's been in there for 3 years. Bruh. I can only imagine. I don't
spiders galore.
Yes, I don't want to do nothing. So we went out and bought another shed that you had to put together and set outside, right? To store stuff in. So that's sitting up there, and that was a shit show in itself, getting that together. That was a shit show in itself, but that's together. That's sitting out there now. We got stuff stored in there now. So remember what I told you during the winter when our heat was out?
Mm-hmm.
And because the damn the HVAC shit went up on us or whatever.
Right.
So when they fixed it, they did fix the heat part. But guess what? Now we getting near the warm weather. Right. So now we learned. Oh no, we didn't do that part, but we coming. We gonna do that part before you.
They'll be here. They'll be there in July.
Oh, so here's the thing. That's what my thought was. Like, it's gonna be the middle of July. We're gonna be sweltering, and then they're gonna come in here with the fix for the shit, right? So turns out I was wrong.
You thought,
yeah, right. Look, turns out I was wrong. They are actually they're gonna do it like Sunday, right?
Okay.
But the issue is when they was gonna do it sooner than that. When the guy came to put the new unit in, because where the shack is at, it's blocked. He can't get through to that to put the new unit in. So now it's like I had to go out there yesterday and move stuff out of the shack. And some of the stuff I didn't move, I just put in the middle and then push the entire shack closer to the shack that's attached to the house already, so they would have room to come through tomorrow to do that. And all I kept thinking to myself as I was putting shit back in that motherfucker, all I kept thinking about, had you done right by us 3 years ago with that shit right there, we wouldn't be here now.
Yeah, that's true.
And it would
or if they would have just fixed the whole goddamn thing.
If they'd have just fixed the whole damn thing the first time. Yeah, because the shack wasn't up there when they fixed that whole thing. Exactly. McKenna his ass. So she said it's getting pretty warm here already, getting up to 90s today. I would take 90s today. What's the temperature? It's 45. I'll take 90s right now. I got AC I don't have AC in the house. Let me take that back. Maybe I shouldn't take 90s now. But listen,
I never want 90s.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. I'm gonna tell you the same thing that I told my grandfather once. I said, I'll take the hot weather over the cold because at least I can look out the window and see flowers, trees, and shit like that. When it's cold, Maryland look ugly. When the trees look trash, everything looks trash outside. You know what I'm saying? But it put me in mind about the fact that how some people, for some reason, they are unable to suss out the sequence of events that led to where you are right now. For them, what happened in that moment is only about that moment and not about the decisions you made prior to that moment.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. Like, don't get it twisted. I like the house. I don't like the neighborhood all that much, but I like the house. Not because the neighborhood's bad. It's just that I prefer where we was at, the neighborhood we was at previously, right? But look, the house is fine. But this experience with this particular landlord has been challenging, to say the least, when it comes to certain just regular shit. We filled out a lease. So for the time that we are here, this is our place.
Facts.
Don't bring your ass around here without calling. Don't have me look out my back door and see you taking figs from the fig tree. Because you didn't let us know you was coming over.
Right.
We signed the lease. This is our place. Right.
You lucky
this
you
is
get
our
shot,
place, nigga.
Like, if you don't let me know you gonna hear it ahead of time, like, yo, I ain't answering the door straight up.
But that's the thing.
He don't got to answer the door for that.
Yeah, he just walked.
Niggas just walk around back
with his little basket or whatever.
I'm like, why the fuck are you here, B?
Vermin says, isn't that the law in Maryland? Yeah, I thought so too, but I could be wrong. Now, one of the things they'll say is, well, they used to live here. So he's used to, I don't give a fuck what you used to. Imagine me saying at one of the old places that I used to live.
Well, actually, hold on. No. No. He can do that. It's a technicality. Yes, it's a technicality. Because we have what is it? Is it actually eminent domain? I can't remember if it's the legal term eminent domain, but we can go into units whenever we deem appropriate.
Okay, so I'm glad you're here because you work in that field.
Yeah.
You work in that field.
He can claim that him taking the figs off of the tree before they rot is upkeep.
He can make that claim. What's up, free thinkers? Okay. So
but wait, but he can't knock on the door first and be like, "Yo, this is what I'm."
He absolutely should, in my opinion.
You know what I'm saying?
But legally,
right,
he can just do whatever the fuck he wants.
I think he can. Yeah, I think he can actually do that.
That's it, Vermin. Eminent domain is when the government can force you out of your house, but they have to pay you what it's worth.
Thank you.
When they're putting a road through or some shit.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I can't remember the exact name for it, but yeah, he can go into the back and prune the tree under the guise of upkeep.
So let me ask you this:
How you know Toon wants his
when?
Well, it doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. According to the law, that don't matter. But let me ask you this: is it also the law that I can prune him?
I don't believe so.
Hey,
if he came through the door without announcing himself, then yes, I believe so.
No,
but outside of that,
let's make it clear. Toom's definition of pruning him is different from his definition of pruning tree. Okay?
I'm just asking.
So one of those are legal.
Yeah, one of those. Right. I'm pretty sure the one that you want to do is not the most legal.
But to be fair, I would like.
It's an option. No, it's an option. It's absolutely.
I would like to see Tombs.
But both like.
You know what? Honestly, I would like to see. Fuck his tape. I would like to see the evidence.
I would like to see both. I would like to see pruning the trees and then Tomb pruning him because I know it's going to be different.
I'll tell you this much. He can't.
You know, melons are fruits. He will not his melon.
It is not possible for him to prune the tree while I'm pruning him.
Exactly.
No, it's not. No, it's absolutely not. No, it's not physical.
No, it can't happen because he can be doing it in mid.
You know, chickens can run around with their heads cut off.
And you think Toom's not a chicken with his head cut off? You think Toom's head cut off? He ain't gonna get his point put across.
Listen. All I can tell you is what this does. Y'all know me. What this does for me is it steps on my one of my pet peeves.
Can I say? You don't like people at your crib.
I don't.
Period. So I understand. I get that.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? That's what Space said. He said, "Stand your ground, law." He's coming right at you.
We don't have that in Maryland.
They don't have that here.
No, we don't have that in Maryland.
Yo,
yes, like literally, I can knock a nigga block off.
Yo, right. Jonathan actually knows the prune from the timeline. Yup. Yup. Fuck out of here. Y'all know I don't like. If I didn't invite you,
right?
Don't come here.
Oh no, I'm coming.
Don't come.
The devil is not welcome. Yeah.
Hey yo, Toom. If ever I'm in Maryland and I know you're Addy, I'm pulling up, bro.
You could though.
Here's the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm about to say you have an open welcome.
Right.
Nigga, fuck. Right. I didn't give you a
you know what I'm saying?
Hands up, like nah, nigga. I'm gonna come in there and knock on your door like I'm here. What's up?
Yo, old ass joke. Addy go pull up like, yo, where my bathroom?
Yeah.
We gonna swim.
Where my bathroom, my guy? Like,
right.
You said this is my room.
He gonna come in with a bag.
In the fucking basement.
No.
I'm coming in with a blow up.
He not even gonna have a bag, yo. He gonna have a stick, one of them little
with a handkerchief
things, like a fucking hobo. Hey yo, I ain't no hobo. You know how I live my life, nigga. Hey, listen, I'm gonna have a blow up twin, and that shit gonna be in the bathroom.
That's funny.
Leaving outside of that shit.
Yo, that's funny.
He might give you the shack, yo. He might give you the shack. What up, DJ?
No, don't do that.
You a herper?
The love shack.
Okay. Shut up. No, because that means I'm gonna be outside. Fuck that. Nah, nigga. I'm gonna be
It's
in your
technically
crib.
not outside, Joe.
Nah, no, I don't give. I'm gonna be in your crib.
Yeah, I guess technically it's not outside.
No,
Yo,
but
there's a roof.
James, stop.
No.
Stop. This nigga already told me the bathroom is mine, right?
Yo,
That's true. That's true. That is true.
But it's right near the bathroom. It's literally
No, nigga, ain't no ass betting.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm
we not.
because the thing is, if the heat is on, I'm gonna feel all that. If the air is on, I'm gonna feel all that. I'm gonna just have a fucking blow up mattress in your shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't.
The only thing is the door ain't gonna close, and y'all ain't gonna be taking piss and shit.
Oh no! See,
while
that's
I'm in
what
there.
that wasn't part of the deal.
I mean, I move away, just tap my leg, but nigga, get up. We gotta, you know.
Nigga, I'm gonna drink non-lactate milk.
Now, nigga,
oh
nigga,
god, that's funny.
Y'all ain't taking no deuces while I'm asleep.
That's
so
funny. You better wake up then.
You better wake up.
I will.
You better wake up and smell the roses.
The thing is, all y'all are bigger than me. So I'm definitely picking up off rip. But I'm like, all right, let me pull my mattress out.
Yeah, let me slide out.
Let me show y'all spray. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get the.
We gotta light a candle first.
No, fuck that. I'm gonna get the hard disinfectant shit, like the hard body shit. The shit in the big ass can. Where it's like, it's
Special Space said, "You're a dude. The whole world is your bathroom."
I mean, well, shit. Well,
he's not fully wrong. Like,
he's not fully right because you certain places when you do that shit, you gonna get banned. My God,
that actually happened to me before too. I'm on the east side. I'm on the east side.
They will pull up on you.
Hit this bathroom real fast.
Yo, hold up. Does anybody know this? Because this was a joke in the movie Horrible Bosses. Would you actually go to jail? Could you get registered as a sex offender for pissing at a playground?
Yes, because
I don't know.
It's indecent exposure. And you're around.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They can put that on you.
Yeah,
even though like you just I get it. Like you just there taking a piss because you gotta like relieve yourself. You know what I mean? You're not thinking about kids, you're not thinking about doing nothing sexually with them. You just
right.
You know?
They gave me a rogue and vagabond.
Child. That's funny. But I mean, you are both of those things.
Hey yo, I ain't gonna lie. The other day we went to the spot called Blue Tequila, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like in a nice ass plaza.
Already sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
No. It's cool, right? But the difference is the side of Goose Creek that I stay on. Yeah, you can piss wherever the fuck you want to piss on. But the other side of Goose Creek, nice. So I'm on the other side where it's nice. I'm like, damn, I gotta pee and I gotta drive. So I'm like, being on my hood shit, I'm gonna duck off. Do what I do.
Right.
My girl like, why you do that? I'm like, listen. She's like, yo, we were just in the place. I'm like, well, I didn't know where the bathroom was at.
You could
have asked. I did not know where the bathroom was at.
Nigga, you could have asked somebody.
No, I asked my sister and she told me where it's at. I'm like, fuck it. I'm already outside. Fuck that. So I did what I had to do. You know what I mean? But I didn't get caught.
McKenna says it's a thing in at least 13 states outright in any situation. Most others are case by case basis. Okay,
interesting.
But if I would have got caught, I'm pretty sure I would have got.
No, listen. The only reason I think they held me like that, I ain't no ID on me, none of that shit, is because here's the whole thing.
You were swinging your shit.
You look like somebody looking for.
Exactly.
So we gonna hold you up. That's what the fuck that was.
No, no. James already said what you did. I
ain't hear that. So it didn't. I didn't hear that. So it didn't happen.
Right. That happened. Then it was like, I'ma just pee everywhere.
Yo, Special Space says biggest fear is geese, and he moves to Goose Creek. Savage.
Hey, listen.
No, that was happenstance, my guy.
That's it. I had to get out of fucking Somerville.
Right.
The geese gonna be there.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They don't be on my block now though, so it's cool.
But anyway, that pretty much was my week for real. Dealing with issues, with problems, and like I said, tomorrow. Oh, one more thing before I leave, boy. Let me tell you something. It's hard being a squirrel. Leave this this discussion. It's hard being a squirrel. It's hard being a squirrel, yo.
I can imagine. So
there's
always looking for nuts.
See, I was gonna be immature.
Phrasing.
Yo, I need to have as much fun as I can right now.
Phrasing, yeah.
Y'all notice I haven't used phrasing in like 2 episodes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going up.
Right? So on the side of the house, we had this trash can that I completely forgot about because it's on the side now, out of sight, out of mind. I put it over there. I was moving some other shit and forgot about it. So when it rained, because it didn't have a top on it, it filled with water. Now, in this neighborhood, there is an inordinate amount of squirrels around this motherfucking neighborhood, yo. And I noticed when we first moved around here, it was a gang of 20 of them bitches in the street with rags on and all that shit.
A roving gang of squirrels.
Squirrels, right? So remember, I think I told y'all before that there was something wrong with our solar panels, mostly because one of the things that was wrong was that the squirrels use our roof as a highway system, right? They jump from tree on this side, run across the roof to get the tree on that side. But not only that, them son bitches had made homes and was chewing wires and all that other shit up there where the solar panels at, right?
You know why? Because you in their space, nigga.
Look, I get it. I get it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you intruded.
But the problem is for them,
well, sure,
is that there are a lot of traps around here that don't start off as traps but become traps when you're a squirrel using that as a highway system. So one of them must have fucked up something fierce trying to get from one space to another.
Yeah, that sounds
to that tree.
They got fucked up.
He landed in the trash can full of water.
Oh no!
And couldn't get out.
Oh no!
And when I saw
so the nigga drowned.
Yes. And when I went look, I said, this shit full of water. I looked and went, whoa, there's a bloated.
No, yo.
Hey, yo, check it. One squirrel down.
One squirrel down.
Yo, he died from water intake and retention.
That's basically, he could not negotiate his way up out of that
gruesome
shit. And I stood over his bloated, rotting corpse in the water, and it was cold too, so it kind of preserved it a little bit.
Oh no.
As I stood over and I looked, something came to mind, a phrase that I had heard in a movie years and years ago that I rarely get a chance to use, that I got to use then. Since he died, he died. I don't care.
I mean,
get the fuck out of here. I guarantee you that was one of the same squirrels that was digging all of my damn trash. Listen.
AOB, imagine if you squeezed them. It would be like a water gun.
All right. Okay. See. No, I'm fairly certain the water. I'm fairly certain at that point his cells have absorbed
maximum
the access. Yeah.
Maximum hydration.
Maybe.
I wouldn't put it like this. I wouldn't have been the one to find out.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had gloves on,
I'm not doing none of that. But I can't. In fact, I can't. In order for me to get rid of it, what I did was I took the whole thing. Yep. I'm fine with that.
I love that my man's okay with being pussy.
Listen, I wheeled that stone bitch. You know that back part of the yard that has the other fence where they used to have the horse stuff? That's where a bunch of leaves and stuff, when we take care of the leaves in the fall, they go back there and shit. That is a perfect place for shit to break down. I wheeled that motherfucker over there.
No, that's nature.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess a fuzzy super soaker.
Yeah.
A fuzzy, disgusting super soaker.
I mean, babies and shit.
You said that shit.
You ain't got to ice you.
Nobody got time for that.
I mean, you got time. You got my time.
Nah, I ain't got time for it. I'm busy.
Mean, it is.
I'm busy with not catching squirrel cooties.
Yeah. That part.
I'm good with not catching cooties at all.
Like, nah, you
I don't believe you.
You said you would grab it.
Yo, James, stop that.
Like a helicopter.
Yo, you said you would grab it and squirt the. Yeah, no, B.
I said with a glove.
Nigga. It don't matter. There's potential.
You was going Petey Pablo that shit like this.
Debris,
I didn't say that either.
all that blowback, all that.
Squeeze the stomach a little bit just to see if it was squirt. Like
that's disgusting.
See,
by the way, phrasing.
See, now everybody use the phrasing now. Okay.
Yo, this is so funny. Both like say, should have mailed outside to show your stance on squirrel games. You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? When I worked for Arms Corps of America, the gun place, the owner of that place was so messed up in his head that he did an Al Bundy and started for relaxation on that property, a garden, right? Just something to take his mind off of he was on all kinds of medication too. So it was chipmunks in that area, and they stayed fucking that garden up, right? So one of the guys from Western Maryland that worked there had one of these little pellet guns. He caught a chipmunk slipping. Plow, took his ass out, brought his ass back into the shop, skinned him, took his head, put it on one of them on a pencil.
Wait, a chipmunk?
Yes. Put it on a pencil, put it back out there in the garden and stuff.
Yo, like Lord of the
Flies. Like also scarecrows type shit. Like this to happen with the y'all too.
Let this be a lesson to the rest of you. Yeah. Yo, yes, that actually happened, yo.
That like Lord of the Flies, my guy. Like,
hold up.
Legitimately, he put his hand on a pike, effectively.
Yes, yo, he Vlad the impaled his ass. Listen,
but hold up.
And landlords.
Did it make the other chipmunks see that shit? Be like, oh,
listen. All I know is, as ass as that was, I laughed and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed and laughed. Like it was the wildest shit I had seen at that job in a long time. Like he was literally on the table, like skinning it.
I mean, hey yo, a
DJ asked if it worked. I don't remember them saying. I don't remember him complaining that much about it afterwards. But just some wild shit used to happen to that job all the time. Like when he would catch a rat in a one of those metal like cans and shit. I've seen him set one of them bitches on fire to kill the rat and shit. Like I know, like
which is stupid because like then you fucking up the shit that you bought to catch the rat because it might be more rats. Like
not only that, but I don't want to smell that. They would do that wild shit, yeah.
Smell that shit. But it's not like only from the rat; it's from the fucking trade too. Like you can use that shit again. Like you can catch more.
Oh, they use the metal can. It's a metal can. Set it on fire.
Oh, and then just use it again.
Yeah, use it for something else. Put something else in it. They ain't give a fuck. They used to do wild shit down there. But anyway, that was my week.
That was a hell of a week.
I know, right?
Jesus.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah, because
hey yo,
you ain't go first. See?
I mean that's true.
I wasn't supposed to, but whatever. My week is cool. Like just adapting to being more responsible with shit. You know what I mean? Like as far as
so you starting that this week?
Shut up.
Nah, I've been being
shut up.
Hey, yo,
shut up.
Matter of fact,
don't let him
let me G off. Like real shit. April 1st, last year. Right? Oh damn, this nigga he playing games.
Yo, just don't.
Why you talking about?
Ignore him, yo.
No, but this is some real shit. Like April 1st last year,
mm-hmm.
I ain't have no job. I was broke. Moved back in with my sister. My car was fucked up. Like my shit was looking stupid. You know, like yo, how the fuck you gonna come back from this shit? You know what I mean? April 1st, yesterday, got my own crib, got my own car.
Mm-hmm.
My shit's better, got a job that pays me well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
talking about
your shit.
Facts.
No shit. Like, I leveled up, B. And I was gonna do a video about it yesterday, but I was like, yo, it's April 1st, so people might think it's a joke.
Yo, real quick.
Go ahead.
Is it me or has the pandemic kind of like changed April Fool's Day?
A bit.
Yeah, because I don't notice as many April Fool's jokes since the pandemic hit. Like,
the bottom line is we ain't got time for games.
Facts. Niggas been through some shit.
But the thing is, I've never had time for games, even before the
pandemic. I mean,
you used to play games.
You only have a streaming platform.
I mean, I play games with y'all niggas.
But nigga,
we watched you play games on social media video
for years.
For years.
But it's just like, yo, I noticed this shit. I'm just like, yo, like, how the fuck did I do that? You know what I mean? Like, you know how to say,
nigga.
Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. And to be real with y'all, like, when I first moved back into my sister's shit, like again for the second time, I didn't know what I was going to do. There were things that I did that I was like, yo, I don't want to do that, but I still did it. I was like, yo, it's a means to an end. Then I was just out there doing what I do and found another means to another end. Of like, oh, this should have worked out for me, you know? Like at the end of the day, people, like, if you feel like you at the rock bottom of your shit, you're not, because things could definitely be worse. There's definitely people going through worse than what you're going through. And if you've been through similar situations, just know like, yo, you'll be okay. Pick yourself up and just deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to do that because my situation with living with my sister, it wasn't the greatest. I think it was losing pounds on pounds. You know what I mean?
And now you're
as far as weight, shit, I broke 150 now. Remember when I'm telling you I was struggling to break 150?
Yeah,
I broke 150.
Yeah,
but it's just like, yo, just do what you gotta do. Believe in yourself and know that you could do it. Because 9 times out of 10, you've been through worse, or maybe not. Maybe this might be the first time that you've been at the bottom. You know what I mean? But you could do it. You could do it. And I just wanted to put that out there, like, yo, like, it's been a year since this shit, and I mean, everything ain't Gucci, but it's
you're still alive. So
you know what I'm saying?
Like, it's gonna be some
progress has been made.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of everything that I said I was going to do. I said, yo, I'm gonna get my own spot. Then I said first of all, I said I was gonna get a job. Got a job. So I'm gonna get a better job. Got a better job. I said I was gonna get my own spot. Got my own spot. I said I was gonna get a car. Got my own car. You know what I'm saying? Got a better car than my other one. Like, yo, like,
right.
It's like, I know people say that shit a lot. Oh, if you put your mind to it, you could do it. And it sounds easier than done, but
no, it is absolutely easier than easier said than done. But that doesn't mean you can't do it.
Right. Like, that doesn't mean it's possible.
It's like, yo, but at the end of the day, like, you gotta make plans in order to do it though. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be, and also you gotta be real with your situation. Like, if your situation is one thing, be reasonable about like, yo, how are you going to accomplish these things in order to do that? And that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm just being reasonable. Like, yo, I know I'm capable to do this and this and that. Let's do it. The worst thing that can happen is I'm not able to now, but it doesn't mean that I can't do it later on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if things come to a point where it's like, oh, you can't do it right now, fine, B, you can't do it right now. But you know that you can do it later.
Right. So
when you're able to do it later, you might be more prepared. You know what I'm saying? To do it then and do it right. You know? So that wasn't my week, but that's just something I had to get off. But my week is I'm just tired of people at my job tripping about the schedule change. I remember I talked about it last week too.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you peep that shit, but you know, I work Monday through Thursday, then I get Friday and Saturday and Sunday off.
Oh, I remember.
Now Monday
they took that away.
Yeah, which I don't like it.
I'd have been mad as shit.
No, I'm mad. I don't like it, but it's like, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you do?
Been pissed.
But mind you, my schedule's been changed like 4 times since I've been at that job.
Yeah, it's like a Rubik's Cube, right? You can keep moving that shit around, but at some point, once you get everything lined up, you want it to stay like that. This is how you like it.
Yeah, because
and they shuffled the deck on you again. They shuffled the deck on you again.
Because I'm a type of person, like, I'm like, yo, when things are a certain way, it's a certain way, and I get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when things change, like I know change is inevitable, right?
Sure.
But I am a person of like, consistency. You know what I mean? Because that helps my life work better. You know?
Yeah.
But my thing is, if shit changes up, because I know shit changes up. Oh well, shit. Look at the good side about shit. Now I get an hour lunch. Now I don't have to choose if I want to take a 30-minute or hour lunch and get paid for that hour lunch. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm getting 8 hours out of the day for 5 days. That's fine. Right. Like now I work from Monday through Friday.
Right.
So I'm guaranteed to get my 40 hours. Yeah. And I got a raise. Yeah. I get paid more than I did when I started off as a fucking temp. And then even when I got hired on. Mm-hmm. Literally, I'm not tripping over that. I'm just like, the only thing I'm tripping about, nigga, adjust. Adjust your schedule now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is tripping because there's people that's been there longer than me, and they're like, oh, the pay raise that they were supposed to get should have been bigger and all that, which I agree. You know what I mean? Because they've been there longer than me. And they was like, ain't nothing with you, Jamie. It's just like, we been here longer than you. I'm like, all right, cool. As long as y'all don't treat me different. And they don't, you know what I mean? Because they know I work. They're more mad at the people that's getting hired on now because we got new people now and they get paid more than what they started at. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like the people before them.
Right.
So I'm just like, all right, cool. And then this is a woman named Miss Rhonda. And I fuck with her. I bang with her. She's a white lady, older white lady. She's like in her 60s and shit. Probably in her 50s. And she was like, they want me to train people. She's like, I'm not training nobody. Y'all not paying me for that. She's been there for 5 years. She's like, I ain't training nobody no more. Like, after y'all pull that shit that y'all pulled me and everybody else that been here, y'all gonna give us this much as for like they just trying to like match the shit. She's like, no, I'm not training nobody. I'm like, no, I get that. And she's like, Jamie, it's nothing against you, like, because I know you're a good worker, so like what you got, you deserve this shit. Right. And everybody knows that shit. Like I'm not a hard worker. I work well because there's a difference between working hard and working well. Like
you can actually do both too.
But I do
you do one, not the other, right?
You know what I'm saying? I work well. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't work hard no more.
No, listen, I don't blame you. I ain't judging.
I feel like you work hard. What's up, Jenny? You work hard when like when you first get the job. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you can prove yourself. But once you because you don't understand the job fully.
Yeah. So you don't understand the shortcuts you can take to achieve the same goal.
Exactly. Right. Once you understand that shit, then you work well. You make your job a lot easier.
But also management has to account for that. And a lot of times I see they don't. That's what I did when I was in management. So as long as I'm getting the result that we need to keep the company moving, and you're not endangering yourself, others, or breaking equipment and shit like that, I didn't give a fuck how you got it done and how long it took you to get it done. And also didn't give a fuck about you chilling after you. I didn't care. Yeah. I just need this done so that when my bosses come in, they got nothing to say. And I think too much of the management style. I don't know if it's like that elsewhere, but I know here in the States, it's micromanage. It's like, these people have worked this job for a long time. They know how to do the job. If you have no complaints about their work performance, you can't then try to attach the fact that you don't see them working every second of every minute that they're on the clock. What they're getting done. That's crazy.
There's only so much fake work that you could do in a
warehouse. No, that's just annoying. You know what I mean? That's just annoying. That's just annoying.
Like,
yo. I hate that shit.
Like I told you, we had mad downtime. So people be like, the floor be clean. People sweeping the shit that's not meant to be swept.
I hate that, yo. I hate it.
The fuck? You pretending to be working because you're trying to make these people happy. My thing is like, literally, I sit on my reach truck, chill, and somebody be like, Jamie, oh, what's up? Oh, I got this for you. I got an order for you. Oh, I'll pull that shit. I pick it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, if there's nothing for me to do, because like it ain't like I just do that shit and just chill. Like when I'm chilling, I just peep the scene. Like, what can I do to make the floor cleaner? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I'm not picking nothing from the house, yo, the floor needs to be clean. We got to get orders out. I focus on that. You know, like I pull shit like, oh, you already QA this shit? Oh, let me put it to the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's what I do. You know, so because you know there's gonna be more shit for y'all to QA. Make the floor clean. That's my whole that's my whole dean with the shit. You know what I mean? Like that ain't my whole dean with it, but that's a part of it. And I'm just like, yo, like you can't expect us. If you got time to lean, you got nigga. The floor be clean. Yo, there's nothing to sweep.
Tim, we can't hear you.
You muted, bro. B.
Hold up.
There be nothing to clean.
This is what they tell you, and Napalm's response to that is the accurate response. Yeah. Like, come on, man, get out of here. If that floor clean already, what you want me to do? Lick it?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yes, nigga.
Yo, there's nothing else to do. All we have to do. My responsibility is to pick orders, give it to the QA people. They make sure that my count is right. If it's not right, they tell me, then I fix it, right? And then we send it off. We send it off for the drivers to send it to what they need to send it to. What else am I supposed to do? And I'm a fucking pit driver.
Yeah.
I ain't supposed to be fucking sweeping floors.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, fuck that.
Oh, yes, you are, nigga.
No,
sleep.
Pay me more, nigga.
Hey, there are good people on both sides.
Hey, you know what? I hear you.
Yo,
but that ain't always the case. But yeah, but that's pretty much with that. And then I had to have because I got 8 points, and we got points in my job. Like, yo, like when you get like kicked out of the shit. You're supposed to get 10.
You got 8?
Bruh, if I get 9, I'm out the paint, bruh.
Yeah,
it's to the point. Because you know how South Carolina is like, it's a fire out will state. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make a case for yourself.
So is we.
I think that's most of the East Coast.
Probably.
That's just mad immature. But whatever.
No,
we're not doing that. Listen, we're not doing that. So he said, if you get 10, you out the door.
No. Listen. Hear me clearly. If I get 9, I'm out the door. They wouldn't even let me get to 10.
All right.
I'm at 8, B. Yeah, this past week,
you being at 8 flies in the face of everything else you ever said. You should not be at 8.
No,
you over there being ass.
You don't understand. My credit got burned down. I went through a lot of shit. Like, yo, I went through a lot of shit.
Yeah, but why are they giving you? Why do you?
Your crib getting burnt down was 8 points.
Yeah, they get 8 points for that.
It's like being and mind you, remember when I was telling y'all, like, well, you wasn't there when I was talking to James about it. Like, yo, I get to work quicker now because of my new car. Like, my old car, like, I couldn't see, so I'm like, I'm driving cautious as fuck because my lights ain't working like that. You know what I'm saying? On my old car.
Right.
Now I get there like 10 minutes.
So what you're saying is when you were leaving, it was pitch black, basically.
Kinda, because South Carolina doesn't they don't believe in like street lights. So
wait a minute, they don't believe they exist or they don't believe in using them?
Both.
They're both.
Okay. Oh.
Ain't no shots to South Carolina, but no, fuck South Carolina. Like they also about the shit.
Yo, Napalm said literally yesterday, my job worked the fuck out of us for them to tell us that all the products we made is being discarded because they have no place to store it. Fuck y'all. And now for their fuck up, I got a paid day off. Well,
well, that works.
They compensated you there.
Right. So with that being said, right? I don't be understanding because they like I said, like the whole point system, because you get to 9. Like if you at 9, they're not even gonna let you get. You're supposed to get 10, but did they W? You know what I'm saying? But if you get to 9, they're going W.
Yeah.
So I'm at 8. But the thing is, after 6 months, your shit's supposed to start dropping.
Okay.
I've been there for more than 6 months.
But have you been there for more than 6 months since that number 8?
Yes, bro. Yes, because I was going through a lot of shit, so I had to call off and shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I had
that was 6 months ago.
Yes, B. Like I've been there since last June, July.
No, I'm not talking about how long you been there. I'm talking about since when your crib burnt. That was 6 months ago.
No, that was actually like shit. New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, right?
Yeah.
So did you get any points after New Year after your place burnt down?
Yeah,
well, your kitchen burnt down?
Yeah,
so it hasn't technically been 6 months since the last 8. Since that 8.
No, but that was what I'm saying. That wasn't the first time. So what I'm saying, my points are supposed to drop off. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I was going how long does it take?
It's supposed to be the point that you get 6 months after it drops.
Oh, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. That individual point's supposed to be
away. Yeah,
right. Okay.
A bunch of my points are supposed to be dropped off because you remember when I was working at that job, I was living with my sister.
Right.
And there were times where I had to take days off because I was trying to find a crib and all this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. Those shit I had to deal with. Yeah. So my shit's supposed to be dropping off. But whatever.
You know the reason they're not dropping off though? For real?
Because
I tell people this all the time. When they give you that company handbook, don't you believe it? Most of those company handbooks in the beginning say they reserve the right
to get you the fuck up.
To not go through these steps because you're at an at-will state. They can legally get rid of you at any time without any note. Handbook ain't worth the paper it's printed on.
Check it out. I'm this strong. Since I got my new car and all that shit, I get to work 9 minutes before I'm supposed to be there.
Wow.
I have everything in my car, my boots and all that shit. I even put up my fuckboy slippers and shit when I get off of work. I have them shits when I get there. Take my shits up, put on my boots, put on my jacket, whatever, my security shit, get in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm about this shit. Y'all ain't getting me out the paint. Y'all ain't getting me out the paint no time soon. You know what I'm saying?
Napalm said they do what they want, especially when they're not under a union. They do what the fuck they want. That's why that Amazon shit was such a big deal this week.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm on my shit. Y'all ain't getting me out the paint. Y'all can try, but y'all ain't getting me out the paint. Try your best. Try your hardest. And that's why I be telling people.
Nah, we don't want them to do that. I don't want them to try their hardest, yo.
Nah,
you know why I don't want them to try their hardest? Because they don't have to try anything. They can fire you today.
Exactly. But the thing is, though, even my supervisor, Kev, he was like, yo, this is coming up. They're hitting me up about this shit, about you being late and that. I'm like, yo, a lot of those times while I was late, I didn't even know, we didn't have a grace period about being late because we got to be there at 6. Most of the time, I get there 6:01, 6:02.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I do now?
What's that?
Before I put everything up in my locker and everything, I just clock in first.
Sure.
Ooh.
That's what I do now.
Okay.
I didn't know I was allowed to do that. If I knew that back
a lot of jobs don't let you do that.
Yeah, so
a lot of jobs don't let you come in, clock in, and then don't go on the floor.
Then
they'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Clock in, go on the floor.
Right.
I clock in, put my shit up, then I come in. You know what I'm saying? Make sure there's no metal detector to make sure there's no metal on me for the metal detector to you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what it is. And now there's this shit where we had a round table. And I didn't know what a round table was.
Yo,
I did not know.
Yo.
Real talk.
Hold up, y'all. A round table is just the shape of the table. But
shut up, yo. Shut up.
I'm not hearing it.
Right. They tried with schedule. They tried with the geese. What's next? Addie's a survivor.
I am, though. I'm fucking Beyonce in this bitch. Fuck out of here, my nigga.
Okay.
Shit. Hey, yo, listen. Yo, so they because I was talking to my supervisor. He was like, oh, the round table might have to do what, because I had to sign 2 papers. They said I had 7 points. They said I had 8. I know 9, I'm gonna be out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I signed both of the papers. And then when I signed the one that had with 8, he was like, oh, you have to do a round table. And then this nigga Omar, this African dude, he was like, oh,
Y'all got a round table to do. It was
Red
me.
table?
A round table. Stop. A round table. So we go in there. All of us don't know what we there for.
Right.
And it's like, oh, this shit about how y'all feel about the company. I'm like,
it sucks.
Why the fuck am I here if y'all trying to get me out the paint?
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? But I G'd up. I was like, yo, what I feel is the point system is garbage because there's times like, yo, you don't know when you're going to be late for work. Even if you do your best to be there on time. There might be things that happens, like you might get into a car accident or you might have children.
It should be a grace period before they start giving you points. Like,
matter of fact, most jobs that I've worked at, they give you like 7 minutes for you to clock in after when you supposed to clock
what
in.
I mean is you were late or absent 3 times, and now they start. I think then that's when they start putting.
Well, I guess that's why they do 10.
Probably.
Because you can get a half a point.
Right.
No, you get a half a point if you're tardy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's like that's you coming in at 6:01 though.
Sorry to be tardy to the party. Oh, my bad.
But bro, 6:01. For real?
Yo, palm his ass.
6:01.
He is, yo.
Yeah, 6:01. I get it.
So the thing with that is
where I work, because
when you work there, all right. So at your job, James,
yeah,
you have a lot of flexibility.
I do.
And what time your ass can be in and out of that.
Absolutely.
But do they have a point system there as well for other things?
No. What generally the way that we handle firings. First of all, nobody gets fired.
I'm about to say that's how you handle it. Nobody gets fired.
Yeah, nobody gets fired. You gotta murder somebody.
And even then,
like,
hey, yo, quick, check me. So it's like, yo, y'all don't even have the turnover to like be able to fire people like that. Like, so if I'm not a pit driver, and there's people that be pit drivers that be trying to work there, you know what they do? They did the same thing they did with me.
What's that?
Make them QA for 2 weeks, and then niggas leave even before like the second day they leave.
Yeah, because I was about to say you can test that theory if you want.
Yeah,
and then you'll be sending emails out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is niggas leave.
No, I get it. I get it. But niggas leaving ain't gonna save your job.
Nope.
Oh no. I mean,
yeah,
I get that.
Right.
That's why I'm like.
Also, let me tell you about the turnaround time. Right, a company will a lot of times will just double up with the employees they have and put more work on their ass.
Thanks.
They don't do that either because
that's one of the things we do.
Yo, you know what my job did? There's like, oh, we have 7 people coming in today, right?
Right.
Doing orientation. Guess how many stayed?
2.
1.
Damn.
They was like, oh, we have another orientation today. Guess how many stayed?
Niggas got cold.
Now wait a minute. Did they quit or did they
got cold?
Oh.
No, and not CACU.
See, the problem with my job is, the problem with my job is they don't tell people, like, because I was there in the orientation shit and all that shit. Like they had us in the Hilton hotel or whatever. Like,
ooh,
it was
fancy.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was like 50 people there.
Okay, you hoity-toity, huh?
Yeah,
you hoity-toity.
I was drinking all the water with my.
I was about to say.
Put the pinky up.
I'm special. You know what I'm saying? But yo, listen, check.
That is undeniable.
Quick. So, the people that came.
No, Term always gotta blow the spot up, yo. Like always gotta blow the spot up.
He's never low. Never.
Yes, yo.
So my thing is like, yo, like, since I was in those orientations, I know how y'all rock this shit. Y'all talk big shit about the DC, but y'all know half of these people are going to the warehouse. But the thing about the warehouse, y'all not telling people that's going to the warehouse what they're going to do in the warehouse. So when they're in the warehouse and they see it for the first day, they're like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Just to
switch
clarify,
bullshit.
That's a distribution center, right?
Yeah, we send shit to the data center. You know what I'm saying? They send us shit that we keep there, and we got to send it to them so they can have it if like shit, ain't working or whatever.
Word.
So, and when I was in that that round table shit, I was telling them like, yo, like one thing y'all need to do is start letting these people know when they're coming to the warehouse what their job entails. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to be inbound, this is what you do. If you're going to be outbound, this is what you're going to do. If you're going to be in inventory, this is what you're going to do. Because these people get in there, be like, they just think they work in the warehouse. So they probably work out like UPS and shit like that, whatever, blah. But it ain't the same thing here, though. Because at the end of the day, like, we are contracted.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's going to be responsible for anything that they do. Because we got to sign papers and all that shit. So it's just like, yo, let these people know so when they get here, they know what they're working with.
So when you said this to them, right? Did one of them go, our late guy says what?
That's
nah. It was the human resource woman. That's not our human resource woman because she don't be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's somebody that we could talk to online or call.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You're going to find a lot of that happening nowadays after the pandemic, especially.
Nigga.
Fine. I get it. But mom, like, yo, this is why people don't stay here. People don't stay here because of that. And then I was like, yo, also the people that aren't pit drivers, give them access to electric pallet jacks because they gotta lift heavy shit. I mean, the manual pallet jack, yeah, you can move that shit, but it'll be easier and it'll make shit easier if everybody knows how to use that shit.
That's true. I mean, I've used both. I will say this.
Yo,
there's a lot of people that don't know how to use that electric pallet jack that be on that motherfucker.
I'm saying, we doing that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta key in people for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they can use it. I'm just like, yo, why don't y'all?
I done seen people fuck all the way up with them things. Like, I seen niggas trap themselves against the wall.
Oh no, because them shits move though.
Yeah, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Them shits move.
Yeah, boy.
But my thing is like, yo, everybody needs to learn how to do that shit. If they have to, like, because we move hard drives and like motherboards and all that shit. Them shits are heavy. Them shits weigh like over 300, 350 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yo, why
you ain't trying to move that shit with a fucking pallet jack.
Why Napalm say? That's most jobs. They sell you a dream during orientation. Then once you in there, they hit you with clips. Psych, I lied.
That's facts though. And
that's factual.
That's all I was saying. Like shit like that I was saying in the round table. Because I thought in the round table they was going to talk about me, but it was like me and two other people, and they was like, oh, but the supervisor ain't supposed to be around when y'all talking to her. Right. And then when I heard about how Shorty is, like the HR person, it don't matter no way. Because I was like, yo, and also we could have like some shit where, yo, we got vending machines. Why can't we have a vending machine where, you know, because we had to do the 30-minute lunch and shit, or we want to take the hour. Some people don't bring their lunch. Why don't we have a vending machine that gets out like cold food where you can heat up real quick?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, why not? And then I'm just like, oh, like the point system. I was like, what else I said? Like, I was talking a lot of shit. Like, because people hit me. They was like, oh, but did you fend for us? I'm like, yes. I was even the point system on. I said, yes. Because I haven't been here long, but I've been here long enough. Like, I stayed. I know that people don't stay here.
Right.
But I like the way I get paid. So it's just like, yo, like, I'll be here. I deal with the changes and all that shit. Because what else you gonna do? Because my thing is like, people, they bitch and complain, and they've been there for a long time. I'm just like, so what you gonna do? You gonna quit or not? I mean, you ain't gonna quit? Then shut the fuck up, because you ain't gonna do nothing else than that.
I mean, sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
I mean,
I travel the world in the 7 seas.
Everybody's looking for something.
You know what I'm
but you're looking for something, but you ain't doing nothing about it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's counterproductive.
But you bitching though. You bitching though. Ain't doing nothing about it. And you asking me, a nigga like you like low key. Some of them are mad at me because I got the raise that I ain't gonna lie. I deserve that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we wouldn't expect you to lie about that.
No, I deserve that.
This nigga
said,
I ain't gonna lie. I deserve that raise.
I deserve that shit because I'm a pit driver. Do you know how like responsible you have to be a pit driver?
All right, Vernon.
Where everybody walking around, you got to be on your P's and Q's all the fucking time, and like people like be walking up on you while you driving this shit, and you got to stop and be like, "Yo, what's up?" Like, yo,
that's every place.
You feel me? That's what I'm
saying. Have zero respect for them tow motors and the people
at all. I be like, yo, why the fuck are y'all walking across when y'all see me coming through? Nigga. All right, fine. Then I gotta stop, which is cool, which I do. But what I'm saying is, yo, they don't have to because if they don't want to, they could get hit, and then how that's gonna affect me? I'm gonna be fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Hopefully.
Yeah.
No, more than likely.
No, don't. Hopefully, I'm one.
No, I'm hopefully not, because I'm not hopefully hopefully your job understands that if somebody gets hit, they need to do something. Like, hopefully.
Nah, ain't no hopefully because like I'm gonna get hit with the charge because
you run them over. They're good.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want that. Even with the new people, like there's one dude. When he sees you coming through, you know what he does? He stops before I stop.
Mm-hmm.
He sees me before I see him, and I look at him, we look at each other. I'll be like, "Yo, go ahead, bro," or he'd be like, "You go ahead." I'll be like, "All right, cool." But a lot of other people, they be like,
on a side note, I hate when somebody has the right of way and they tell me to go.
That's what
it burns the fuck out of my blood.
When I'm giving it to you, fam.
Right. You have the right of way. You telling me to go.
I would rather you be out of my way so I don't hit you.
Yeah.
Than you telling me go. Yeah. Like
no, fuck them. Let's just see yours is connected to your job. Fuck them. My reason is completely selfish.
You're talking about cars.
Yeah, but my reason is completely selfish. My reason is because if you have the right of way, you stopping to tell me to go slows everybody down.
It really does. It really does.
Shit, you think that's not the same?
In other words, what he's saying is keep the status quo because that status quo works and keeps everything.
It's established,
right?
But my thing is, I stopped for you.
That's what I'm saying, right?
So don't tell me to go when I'm like, you go.
That's what you're saying.
The situation has been created already.
Yeah,
we're in this creation.
Yeah, I want you out of my way.
Tell me when to go.
I want you out of my ass, yo. Like my whole thing is like I stay out the way,
right?
And I understand everybody ain't like me, yo. But when it comes to the pit,
yeah,
if you're a pedestrian, nigga, stay the fuck out the way, or get out the way.
Sound like Ludacris.
If I tell you, yeah, you know,
I'm doing 100 on the highway. So if you do the speed limit, get the fuck out of my way.
Like, yo, move, my nigga. Like, yo, I'm literally stopping for you to move, and you were like, oh no, you go. Like, no, you go because you're the one walking. I feel way safer for all of us. Like, not just you, all of us in general.
Yeah.
You getting the fuck out the way, and you're not in the way of
it helps everybody.
Everybody.
It really
you
does.
Know what I'm saying? But yeah, so
it really does.
That was pretty much my week. My bad. Like, I know I droned on it, but it just really pissed me off.
No, shit happens, man. But I
don't like it because I am petty.
That nigga. For real?
Oh no, ain't no shock.
Oh, you said.
Ain't no shock. Y'all know that. I'm mad petty. And it's just like, yo, like, can y'all do something to me?
I bet.
Let's petty.
Palm is ass, yo.
Palm's always ass. Palm's always ass. Nay ass. Fuck. Nah, but yeah, that's my week. It's just shit just be pissing me off. I try to be better. I try to do like, cause I'm the type of person like I know what my limits are with shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then even the other day at work, like I got on some I don't give a fuck shit. Cause niggas said some things. I was like, oh yeah, I don't want me to get on my petty back because I'm quiet, but I'm not shy, and also I'm not pussy. So when I went back into the job, I was just on some. I don't give a fuck. Niggas want to talk shit. I'm gonna talk shit too. And when I started talking shit back, niggas was like, "Oh, that's how Jamie is." Yeah, nigga. Like, I hear y'all.
Yes. I retaliated. Fuck
yeah, that's how I am. That's how I am.
Yep. But I don't want to because it's my job. You know, I don't want to do that. I won't do that with y'all.
Most people don't.
I won't do that.
Most people don't.
But if I had to, then shit, I had to.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But like I said, most people don't.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta check. Sometimes you gotta check niggas without even checking niggas, even though like they might not peep that you get what they're doing and saying. But when you show that you are people what they're doing and saying, they act different, and it's like, oh,
see, and that's the thing. I don't like ambiguity in that regard. So
me neither.
What I do is when it's appropriate, you're gonna know exactly what the fuck you did that got me.
What a novel concept.
I had a stinker break, and then you know what I did on my break? I listened. I talked to
you smoked a cigarette.
Yes, and then I listened to
and ran from geese.
And then no, I ain't running. I listened to some Jada. I was like, nah, fuck that. Kiss my ass. Who gives a fuck? Now I'm like, oh, so I gotta be a douchebag.
You listen to Fuck You?
Nah, I listen to Kiss My Ass.
Okay.
Because I shouldn't have listened to Fuck You. Like, nah. Because that would have made me do some other shit. I listened to Kiss My Ass. I was like, yeah, fuck that. Like, no. Yeah, niggas don't. I like, don't get it twisted because I'm quiet that I don't hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
So I ain't gonna respond right now. I asked the question, why work a job you hate coming from someone who never works?
Hey, listen. Most
people hate their jobs, yo.
The vast majority.
Yeah. So
see, I don't want to get the picture painted that I hate where I work at. I like my job.
No, there are complaints.
You got complaints. That's it.
That's it.
Just like any other situation in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing is perfect. You're gonna have issues with everything.
It's just the whole point is like
it's how you handle it.
Yes, because I can handle it like Jamie, like in the street, Jamie, or I can handle it like Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is just a job. This is just a means to end. And that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
That's fact.
Because they don't want me to handle it like Jamie or Addie. Like, they don't want me to do it like that.
You don't want to do it either.
That's the thing too. Because I know this ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Like I said, in the beginning of me talking about my week, not even talking about my week, but like, yo, April 1st last year, I was broke, had no car, living with my sister, no job. Nothing was popping for me. I'm good now.
Yeah. Full circle.
You feel me? I ain't trying to stop that. Circle. And I've been there before that.
Worried. Yo, let me tell you
something.
I know
y'all wasn't. Shit.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, know how I give it up.
Napalm says, I think you tolerate your job. Now,
I do a little bit more.
Now, let's talk about that for a second because SPJ, I'm glad you spoke up because SPJ had a conversation one time before about if you was to win an inordinate amount of, dumb money, would you quit right away, right? And I said, well, I would, if I was working for somebody else, yeah, that's done. I'm not going back there. Even if I enjoyed the people I worked with, I'm gonna holler at them some other per, hey, yo, this why I ain't coming back, blah, blah, blah. Fuck management and fuck the rest of them. It's a little different with SPJ because he has personal connections. He's been there. That's his first and only job he's ever fucking had.
They're a version of family.
Yeah, version of family.
A good portion of them.
This is what I told him though. So if I want a dumb, stupid amount of money, he's not going back to work. he says, no, yo, because no, the fuck you not. If I gotta buy it and sell it, you not going. No, nigga, we got shit to do. No,
Facts.
no.
Facts.
You literally said the same shit to me. He was like, yo,
I sure did.
I would give like, yo, you be like, yo, what's your addy? Oh, there's gonna be a package there. I'm like,
you're not going back.
You know, yeah,
Napalm is not going to what?
Yeah, because granted,
crazy.
I like my job. my problem with it is just people complain too much because, like I said, they switched my schedule like 4 different times, and people are tripping over it that's been there long. I'm like, yo, y'all been through the same shit that I've been through. Who the fuck cares? What you gonna do? You gonna quit? If you're gonna quit, then quit. You gonna bitch? I mean,
it boils down to that often.
My thing is this: like, I'm gonna complain. You damn right, I'm gonna complain. I'm a bitch and all that shit. But I'm gonna still keep trucking though.
Yeah,
because you're an adult.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah,
both flex. Yes, you are right, and that's the thing. That comes from me having these relationships.
Right.
That girl's manager is somebody that I've known for 11 years.
Right.
And at the end of the day, outside of, like I said, I have a bit of freedom in general with however I handle anything with my job.
This nigga said a bit.
Listen. There's lateral space for pretty much any decision that I have to make.
Bilateral too. Like what the fuck?
I mean, listen,
he can do what he wants.
It is what it is, but
he's the Sue Surf of his job.
Because that's the case, my decisions often number one on my mind. number one on my mind isn't usually what necessarily the rule book might say, right? Number one on my mind tends to be what is my relationship with the people involved.
Right.
And then I go ahead and let that inform my decision. So, like with that girl specifically, it wouldn't behoove the manager for me to go over the manager's head and go to somebody else. No, that doesn't. It's not helpful to them. I would still be justified. I would still be doing my job. I would still be okay, but that doesn't actually help the person in that situation that I have a relationship with.
Right.
Because something similar has happened before, and it was the first time it happened. I kind of had to go do, like I told her first, but I still had to go to my people's like, hey, this is a thing that's happened. So it, like I said, a lot of what I do at work depends on the relationships I have with the people involved in each situation.
And even with that,
that's the way to handle that.
Even with that, if I went into a dumb amount of money, you're not going. That's dead. That's dead, B.
Let me clarify this because he's making it seem like I would just continue to be a busy bee. No, nigga. If I won an inordinate amount of money, I would keep working for a little while.
I can't.
I would keep working for a little while.
I can't.
I'm not going to just continue my life.
Because like my thing is like I said, like, yo, don't work hard, work well. You know what I mean? So,
I would probably work for another year.
Like I said, if money drops in his lap like that, I can't stop that man. If I get that shit, yo, we leaving now. I have the tickets now. We leaving now.
So
no.
Like one of my leads, like her name's Sasha. Like she always deals me out every time. Remember when I was telling y'all, like, it was the one shit. She was like, "Why you do this and this and that?" And Tasha was like, "Yo, if somebody tells you to do this, then that's your manager. You know that he's the higher up. Do what they said."
I've never worked a place where that worked. Where that, like, whoever tells you to do something, that's the. I've never worked in a place that worked.
No, listen. When she told me that shit, you know what I did? I still left the pallet over there. Before Tasha even told me, oh, the other person told you to do that, the higher up, do that. I was like, I already know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like after the fact. You feel me?
Right.
And she always delves me out. Like even the other day, like the QAers, they're supposed to like rap and they're supposed to like rap palettes and like band shit and all that. And Miss Rhonda, she's a QA. She's like, yo, Jamie is always doing their job for them. You know what I mean? Because I used to be a QA, so I know what it is. I'm like, damn.
My neighbor said Tasha would get a nice bouquet and a thank you card.
I mean, she deserved it though. But what it was is like I'd be like, yo, I know these people are new. And Miss Rhonda, like, she ain't training nobody. They supposed to already know. You know? So I'm like, oh, I'll band it, I'll rap it. And she was like, Jamie, you ain't got, like, Miss Rhonda's like, Jamie, you ain't got to do that. But like, shit, if I don't do it, the orders ain't gonna be sent out. And then it's gonna make us look bad. So she told Tasha about that shit. And Tasha was like, yo, you're a pit driver. Don't do that shit no more. They need to learn that they have to do that.
Hey.
And I'm gonna let them know that that's what they have to do.
You train people. You train people on how to treat you. Like,
But also it's just like I was like literally like trying to show them because remember when I told y'all when I was like, oh, Squeaky Will gets the oil. Yeah. Like I'm just on that shit. Like I was just like, yo, I was a QA'er even though I was supposed to be a pit driver. But
funny.
Being a pit driver, being a QA'er helped me learn how to be a pit driver even better. That's why, like, when I bring the QA'ers like the orders and shit, I do it in a certain fashion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the boxes all jumbled up and all that shit. I make it easier for them because I know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's like counting all them shits. You know?
Yeah. There's a couple
in the lottery.
There's a couple of planets I'm going to retreat to.
He is the Lord.
Right. There's a couple of them.
Let me clarify a little bit more. I would not be working where I work, how I work.
No, not of course not.
Hey yo, fam, can I tell you something? I was thinking about this shit. I was like, damn, this nigga got mad perks. Mad perks.
Nigga. If I came into an inordinate amount of money,
it'd be some
you
remote
think
work.
I got freedom now?
Right. Hey, yo, be some remote work going on over there.
Hey, yo, James, let me tell you this, right? There's one thing out of me and Toom's life that you don't have to worry about ever because of your job. You know what it is, right?
What?
I ain't gonna tell you. I'll tell you after the live.
Listen,
okay.
Well, I'm telling you, yo, Napalm's ass. Garden Planet.
What does it cost you?
Everything. Listen, I will repeat this again for those in the cheap seats. I can't stop him if he runs into the money to want to do that because this folks, he has control over his money and what he does. What I'm saying is, if it falls in my lap,
oh, we good.
He's not going back. There are so many ways I can prevent him.
Yo, listen,
going back.
Listen. If I happen to do it, I'll meet y'all there. Like, y'all can go ahead of me. I'll be there in about a year. Like,
shut up, Goofy. Because like nigga, I'll go straight to Baltimore and grab
dumb money. I'm talking.
I will grab. Okay, hey, yo, Toom, set me up.
So I'll give you things instead of money.
James, shut up. Toom, give me your plane ticket, and I will grab this nigga from his
No. We're talking about if I win the money.
You're talking about if he wins the money, we ain't got no control over it, bro. We ain't got no control over that.
No, but you said if you did.
It's different. Notice I haven't objected.
Right.
But if you did though, nigga. Toom, give me a flight to go to B-More so I could go there one time.
Nigga,
and no, tell me.
I'm gonna have you. I
will get with you first, but I will go to his apartment because I know, like, yo, anybody can get up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's not true.
Listen.
What's your key code?
It don't matter.
I'm not telling you that on live.
I will have hired a black ops wet work team. He's not going.
You'll get me fired. Yo.
By the time this is over, you're going to be gone. If you want to do some remote work, some remote shit, the place that that we going got good fucking.
Hey, yo,
you can do that. You go ahead, do that. But
bet. Try to bet that my 5'7" ass won't get this nigga out the paint.
No, again,
he coming. And then, hey, listen, you coming, and then we'll get all your shit, all your other shit. We'll pack that shit up later.
No, fuck, no. That's staying here.
No, what? Yeah, you ain't
no,
taking nothing. I ain't.
No, all that's staying here. I'm taking hard drives.
Yes, that's it.
Fine. We'll get that shit later. We'll get that shit later, my nigga.
Man. Yeah, all that shit is staying. Hey,
yo, me and
love
my
y'all.
Wife, me and my wife have talked about that on numerous occasions. And some shit like that was to ever pop up. You get him. I'm
if there was any instance of me getting James out the paint,
packing,
that would be the instance.
Packing? Gotta clutch my pearls real quick.
Yeah, sound like Soulja Boy.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
They can keep all the shit. And I don't give a fuck what the landlord say to you. You left all that shit. Yup.
Yup.
No. Here's the thing. I live with my company. Anyway. I'm gonna holler at them like, yo, listen.
See, remember what I was saying earlier.
Listen, I'm leaving. All my shit still in there. All of it. Like all of it still in there.
But all I'm saying is,
bill me.
If you have trying to leave,
Napalm said you gonna pay that same lady to knock on his car window again to distract her from kidnapping.
Hey, yo, Tom,
you crazy.
If this nigga has any recompense, we are bus driving uppercut. Then this nigga.
One thing I know,
and he's going to jog him on the plane.
One thing I know, I don't have to worry about you. The moment I say, yo, it's lit. Oh shit!
Word. All right, stay less, nigga.
It's lit. It's lit. I'm not telling him nothing. I'm not telling him shit. He's gonna come out of the job. A mask gonna be on his head. We out. I don't have to say shit to Napalm. Napalm, we lit. That's it. That's it.
The thing is, we're all petty and we're all
petty
stubborn.
Look,
but James
is petty. He's petty, but when it comes to this, this is not where his petty, at least his type of petty, his usual type of petty lies. Don't lie there.
Right.
James is like the reason why I fuck with James is because he's way pettier than me. And I don't get it because our pettiness matches. Like with each other.
Facts.
But when I hear stories about what he tells me, how he does with other people, like, damn, bro, like for real, like
I don't know if that's necessarily petty. They be deserving it.
Nah, nigga, fuck that. Because I know for a fact I'm a piece of shit. I know that. He be like, yo,
there's no time at all.
You're wilding. And you be doing shit, but like, fam, you wilding.
Yo, the bodies be buried somewhere. They gotta be buried somewhere.
Fam, listen, man.
Yo, Napalm said, all you gotta do is give the time stone hand movement. There is no time at all. Yo, nigga. I'm telling you.
Yo. All right. So my week. Mainly.
I love us.
I've been like supercharged with the creative stuff again.
That's true. Particularly on
this week,
your clock website.
Shut up. What he's referring to, ladies and gentlemen, is TikTok.
Oh,
TikTok.
Whatever y'all kids do.
He's swaying so ass. Yo, I cannot do this.
Remember when I told this nigga, he might not remember, but no, to me, you don't know. I told this nigga, so I was like, oh, so you tit talking again? He's like, yeah, soda. And I was like, oh no, amendment. You're tick hopping?
Ass.
Terrible pun.
No,
that was fire.
It was funny. No, it was a terrible pun. It was still funny.
Yeah,
that was fine.
So, yeah.
Hey, yo, I needed that. You can't let me have that.
I said it was funny. Nigga, I said it was funny.
It was funny. But it was also.
Then you had a demo.
This wasn't a great pun, but it was funny.
It was funny, but it wasn't a great pun. You know, it was a dad joke. That's what it was.
Kinda, yeah.
Dad joke.
All right, cool. So I'm
But it was
prepared
fun.
to be a
Dad
father.
jokes are funny.
The master of dad jokes. Like, what the fuck you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
That jokes be funny, my guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm fighting James when I see him.
As they're alluding to, I don't want no beef.
Me neither.
As as they're alluding to, I've
Exactly.
been doing some things on the Tickety Talk. And I mean, it's only 2 videos, but I mean, that was since Thursday. So it's a thing. Also,
Man, fuck you.
no, I mean, nigga, just because you don't, not mine.
Don't do that. You know how I give it up. Don't do that.
Okay. Hey, no beef.
Hilarious.
I also did 2 videos. I started that series that I'm talking about. Here. This is the thumbnail for the official start of this video will probably go up tomorrow, I guess.
Hey, yo, check the watermark, my nigga. Mutual Entertainment, my nigga.
I mean, it's a thing. Yeah. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. So yeah, that was that. Yeah, music, because come on now. Right. Always. So the lady that I talked about a little while ago that passed at work.
Yeah.
So her funeral was this past week. So the company allowed people to go. I don't know exactly how time off was handled. I do know that normally company policy is that multiple people in similar positions cannot be out at the same time. They waived that. A few of the people who were closest to her in the downtown office, they took the whole day off. They didn't even come in. Most came and went to the funeral and then came back to work. I didn't attend. I'm not a funeral guy. I'm not. The only, I've been to a few, but those are only I felt obligated, like
family shit,
like close family,
right?
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to mention, that to give her final RIP and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So these moments. Oh, Eddie. So you say you gotta go?
Don't do that. That's why I put in another one thing.
Nigga, but they will know. They'll notice that you're not here.
Yeah, but
so big.
I'm trying to keep it low.
Yeah, but nobody has to give details or anything. It's
right.
Yeah, they'll notice that you're not here anymore because they were listening and they saw 3 of us, and then yeah,
my bad. But I'm gonna get back up with y'all, boy. It's just some shit going down, so I gotta.
Okay. No problem.
Mind your business. Mind your business, Nate Pump.
He won't. That way, people won't stop playing with me.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right. I love y'all though. I'm gonna
love you, bro.
All right. So these moments are always very.
He does though.
Revealing. Yeah. Now I don't put people specifically on the spot on the show as a revelation. What I mean by that is I address situations. I don't reveal names unless the name is already known. Generally, because in most cases, knowing the name doesn't matter.
Right.
And because that person isn't here to defend themselves.
Right.
But let me put out a disclaimer.
Uh-oh. He disclaiming shit.
If we have a Facebook relationship and the frequency with which we communicate has drastically changed, There are two likely possible reasons. The first, and sometimes most likely, is the algorithm, because we all know it sucks sometimes.
Yes.
So that's the thing. But second, among those potential reasons is I've seen you shit post about something,
right?
And I don't want that energy around me.
No, I know that's right.
That being said, we're about to talk about something. I'm fairly certain a lot of you could guess what that thing is.
Before we go there, give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, if you're listening or hearing a clip or whatever, just understand this. It is possible that one of us is going to touch on a take that you may have in your mind. It's possible one of us is going to touch on a take that you may have seen a post or a comment and you may have liked it. It's possible that one of us is going to touch on something that maybe you've even posted yourself. I implore you to understand that I'm addressing whether it's insulting, whether it's calling it out, whether it's bigging it up. I'm addressing the take, not you. So my shtick on the show is basically that I'm a lovable, well-meaning asshole. Some of you may not feel like I'm so lovable after what we're about to get into. Allow me to start that process by saying that on this issue, I am not concerned if you get offended. For the shit take you had and for you feeling a type of way if I happen to attack it, I forgive you. You're only human.
Right.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was perfect timing. You came back like it was good. It was good. Ladies and gentlemen, the slapping. Now,
the
question
of the
Tim.
slap. Yes.
Tim, question.
Yes.
What do we want to do first? Do we want to do our takes on the situation? Do we want to do the online reaction? Or do we want to do the facts of the story?
Let's start with the facts first.
Kind of figured that.
You know what I'm saying? Slapgate.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, unless you've been under a rock, you may have heard
ass.
You may have heard that one Willard Carroll Smith II accosted Chris Rock. I don't know his real name. I don't know his real name. Yeah. Hold on. Pretend I didn't do that. Hold on. Let me do it real quick.
Chris Felonious Monk Rock.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not.
That's not.
Pretty sure that's not it.
Thaddeus?
Nah, I don't. Christopher Julius Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the thing that happened. And we should all be aware of it at this point, because come on now.
People won't stop talking about it. So
yeah, people absolutely will not stop talking about it. So the facts of the story. The facts of the story are the pertinent facts that we know of the story are it was the Oscars.
Boo.
Outright. The only reason I saw anything about the Oscars
because of this.
was because of this. Because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had forgotten even realized the Oscars was happening.
Yeah. I never do.
Nah, man. So it was the Oscars. And the only thing I know consistently about the Oscars is that it's on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. Oh, and the whole black people thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a separate conversation. So yikes. I also think I'm gonna make this call real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably ignore the comments until we finish.
Yeah.
All right. So it was the Oscars. Chris Rock was presenting the award for Best Documentary, which ended up going to Questlove. Big shouts out to him. He was doing his normal shtick where he was talking about people in the audience. That's one of the staples of a Chris Rock being a presenter or host anywhere. Since been pimping. And he makes a joke about one Jada Pinkett Smith. And it's no reason for me to repeat the joke. He makes that joke.
Who cares?
Right. Camera, the audience groans. I want y'all to keep that in mind.
They always groan.
He makes the joke, the audience groans. That is their initial reaction. That is why, if you watch the video, he's like, "Oh, come on, that was a good one."
Yo, the groan part, that's a staple in comedy, where the crowd they know they're saying something that's or it's a bad joke.
It's like, touchy or
yeah. So they go, hey, now. That's a staple in comedy.
Right. So as that reaction is still happening, Will, there's the camera goes to Will, he's laughing. You see Jada, she rolls her eyes. Camera goes back to Chris. He's still working through this reaction because any comic worth their salt is going to sit in the moment because that's just how that works. As he's doing that, you hear him say, "Uh-oh." Will Smith is getting up, walking towards him on the stage, gets up to him, gives him a quick skibbity pat.
Skibbity pat.
Just give him a quick skibbity pat.
Skibbity pat.
And he walks back to his seat. Chris comments on it. Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. Will Smith says, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." Chris Rock says, "It was a G.I. Jane joke." Will Smith says, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." Chris Rock says, "Okay, I will." So a little bit later on in the night, Will Smith wins the Oscar for Best Male Actor for the King Richard movie. In his speech, he vaguely addresses the incident. He apologizes to the Academy. He apologizes to the other nominees. And then later on in the week, Will drops an apology. Let me read this apology.
This is a very important part of this whole story too, as it factors into my overall take. This apology.
"Violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's mental condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will. Now, more facts. This came out saying Chris Rock's statement regarding last night's Academy Awards. As a comedian, it can be difficult to understand which lines are to be crossed and which ones aren't. Last night, I crossed a line that I shouldn't have and paid the enormous price of my reputation as a renowned comedian. Comedy is never about poking fun at or making light. Wait. No, wait. Don't bury the lead. Making light of people with major ordeals happening in their lives. Comedy is about using real life circumstances to create laughter and bring light to an otherwise dark world. With that said, I sincerely apologize to my friends Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith, and the rest of the Smith family for the disrespect and disregard I displayed, which was unfortunately broadcast for the world to see. I hope that with time, forgiveness can come of the situation and we can all be better, more considerate people in the end. Chris Rock. This statement is not real
at all.
Chris Rock did not publicly release a statement about the incident.
Nope.
So
yeah.
What else? Is there another? Hold on. Is there something else? Oh, Chris Rock had a tour that was scheduled already. The first night of the tour was, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember which one. Mm-hmm. Standing ovation. Just coming out. It was like 2 minutes or something like that. And he finally talked. Basically, he's saying he's not talking about it on this tour. He will talk about it. And when he does talk about it, it'll be in a serious and a funny way, the way that he tells stories. He declined to take shots in that first show.
And he even shouted down people that was in the audience.
Yeah. The second show, people were saying, fuck Will Smith, fuck. And he stopped them.
Yep.
I think those are all the main facts.
Those are the major facts of the incident. And a slightly bit of the aftermath. If you be so kind, I'll just want to put a couple of things out there. What I discovered this week was that this incident and the aftermath after that was not about Jada. It wasn't about Will. It wasn't about Chris. It wasn't even about the Oscars. It was about y'all motherfuckers. I saw takes on both sides that has convinced me now more than ever.
Oh, hold on, wait, Jonathan. Yes, I'm glad you said that. I forgot that part. So as far as Will being allowed to stay and him being able to accept his award, so Chris Rock chose not to press charges to get him arrested.
Right.
Chris Rock was asked if they wanted Will removed.
Right.
He said no. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are unhinged. You are emotionally unhinged, and you're so full to the brim of these separate issues that anytime there's an opportunity to attach your issues to an event that took place, you're chomping at the bit to do it. The other thing, some of you out there are the type to which nothing in the world ever happens. 9/11 didn't happen.
Right.
School shootings didn't happen. Will Smith smack didn't happen. I don't understand that. Why that's the methodology for everything that takes place, that it didn't take place. But that's kind of
wild.
It's exceedingly wild. Few things I want to put up there straight and away. I am not a pacifist. I don't care what you are.
Right.
I am not a pacifist. I firmly believe that there are times when you got to whip somebody's ass or get your ass whipped in the attempt. I don't believe in half measures either. As Yoda once said, do or do not. If I'm gonna get my ass, there's no try. If I'm gonna get my ass about the seat, I understand the mission.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the assignment, right? For a lot of y'all, though, this was just an exercise in mental masturbation.
Yeah.
In a way for y'all to bring in these other issues.
Transference.
Another thing about that, there was a lot of black women that celebrated what Will Smith did. And I'm going to tell y'all up front, I understand why you celebrated it. Because I've seen what you've seen. Over these last few years, some cowardly, predatory behavior coming from men in general, black men specifically. We all watched videos of the one example, girls getting snatched up off the countertop by some guy that's 3 times her size, and she's throwing blows to save her life. And this nigga standing around the background, and they did nothing except for at some point try to grab her.
Right.
I've seen these examples over and over again. And listen, protect black women is a thing. And as a thing, I would prefer that phrase not be undervalued.
Right.
And not be devalued by saying something's protection when it's not.
Right.
Right. There's a difference between protection and avenging, which, by the way, I don't have a problem with avenging either in the right circumstances.
Right.
There's a tier system to offense, and everybody has their own little system. I'm also not in the business of telling people what to be mad at. Be mad at what you want to be mad at. And you're going to have to handle that the way you're going to have to handle that, because you're going to be the one to deal with the consequences when that shit over. As long as you're good with dealing with the consequences and not trying to shirk that responsibility, do what the fuck it is you want to do. But I got to tell you, on my tier system, at the top of the tier, somebody is physically attacking my wife. I don't care where I am. I don't care who's watching. I don't care what happens afterwards. I'm digging in your ass. Somebody's in my wife's face talking crazy. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care who's watching. I'm fucking you up. Feel about it whatever way you want. I don't care. But in between, it's a lot of stuff in between that'll get me, we about to. At the bottom of that, though, for me, is me and her sitting in the front row where comedians doing their thing, and the comedians say something. We all know that's what comedians do. We know that. This does not let Chris Rock off the hook for me about past shit he's done. Certain things he's done I didn't like that Louis C.K. situation when they was in that round table discussion. I didn't like him being super comfortable with Louis C.K. saying nigga. And I felt it nauseating that Seinfeld had the best take out of everybody there. And I'm not a fan of Seinfeld.
Right.
I was nauseating. That's besides the point. Tell you something else. Everything in me, every instinct in me that's hood, rebels against the idea of committing a crime in front of cameras and a million snitches.
Right.
Everything. Everything.
Literally.
Anytime that I ever...
It's not in the playbook.
It's not in the playbook, bro. And any time that I ever was involved with any shenanigans, I at least factored in the possibility that I would get caught to motivate me on how I was going to move on it. I'm not doing that. Why? Because I've been locked up before. I know some of y'all ain't never had the experience. Some of y'all ain't grow up with me and SPJ grew up. Y'all had experience. But let me tell you something. When you get arrested and locked the fuck up, I'm gonna say this in a very, very underselling way. It really inconveniences you. It really inconveniences you and the people that care about you.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm gonna move on something, it's gonna be smart. And I had to learn these lessons the hard way too. Like, there has been an incidents, one in particular that I'm thinking about, where my wife had to pull my coat because my reaction to what was said was totally over the top. Forgive me, I'm fresh from Baltimore. That's not how we was taught to roll. That wasn't you got rewarded for being that type of nigga. What? He said what? Right. You was rewarded for that, right? I had to learn better than that. And I thank her for that, right? Because my wife doesn't want to see me be inconvenienced and the family be inconvenienced for me doing something on impulse. Yeah. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's absolutely stupid. One other thing. We all talking about consequences. Right? That's the name of the game, right? Consequences. So Will has to face consequences for what he did. Because if any of y'all was at your job and somebody said something crazy to you and you hauled off and smacked them, you're going to face consequences at that job. All of us know that. Everybody in the workforce knows this. That's why the majority of people don't do that shit. They wait till after the job to address anything. I've done it in parking lots. Listen, you wait till after you're off the clock to go and do what the fuck.
How about this? How about this? Everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody because clearly not everybody.
Not everybody, yeah.
Meet me on the playground at the school.
Meet me on the playground at the school, B. Why you ain't doing it in class? You ain't doing it in class because you may not want to get suspended. You may not want to get caught up. It happens in class. I've been part of that too. I've been part of that too. But for the most part, people, that's the thing. 3 o'clock, yo. They did a whole movie.
Generally, facts. Generally, we have an instant of self-preservation in these moments.
To say, is this something I need to do now?
Right.
My thing is, that's why I'm talking about consequences. Because once again, I'm not going to tell them what to be mad at. Right. I'm not even going to tell Will how he was supposed to respond. You did what the fuck you did. But just make sure you're prepared for the consequences. Will has to face his. Chris has to face his. Because that was an embarrassment in front of workers, co-workers, potential bosses, and he was literally at work. He was he was on the clock when it happened.
Facts.
And when you put your most personal dirty laundry out there for these filthy, insecure, disagreeable apes to consume, there are consequences too.
Right.
And also when you spend the last 20 years using the greatest tool of knowledge distribution that has ever been devised as a dumping ground for all of your toxic words, thoughts, talking points, insults, and public dragons, there are consequences for that too. So enter Will Smith. Y'all real funny with Will because I disagree. To make it plain, I disagree with what he did.
Right.
That's not how I would handle it, but I ain't gonna tell him what to be mad at. Do you, bruh? Just accept the consequences. But let's talk about Will for a minute. Because y'all funny with him. Y'all know Will since 1987. Some of you, 1986. Some of you, 1987. That's a lot of years, bro.
I was born. That's when I was born.
And in that space of time, he never let y'all see him sweat. He wouldn't even curse in his music.
Right.
Every time you saw Will, I don't care what platform it was on, he had a smile on his face and a joke in his mouth.
Squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean. And y'all loved him for it. So much so that y'all weaponized, I ain't gonna say all of y'all, a certain generation weaponized his image and his choice of expression against rappers like me.
Right.
Or to quote Eminem, Will Smith don't
Smith
have
to cuss in this records.
Well, I
do. So fuck him and fuck you too.
You know why? A lot of rappers, we liked Will. So that lie wasn't about Will. It was more about y'all.
Yeah.
It was about the people that was trying to say, if he can do that, how come you can't do that? As if Will wasn't a phenomenon. As if Will wasn't an anomaly. Come on, let's stop it. Let's stop it.
No facts.
He slipped. Tell you something else. I saw Will deteriorating over the last few years. And if you paid attention to it, you did too. A lot of y'all want to blame Jada for that. I'm certain she played a part in it. But allow me to remind y'all. Allow me to remind y'all. Will is the one that first initiated putting their business out there.
Mm-hmm.
When he started his YouTube channel, one of the first videos he did, he talked about how he told Jada he is out of the business of being responsible for her happiness.
Mm-hmm.
That's very personal. You're not going to get me to tell you.
No, bro.
My wife. He's
between
the
a husband and wife. That's one of the most personal conversations you can have in front of the world.
He initiated
Mr. Biggest superstar in the world.
Right. He initiated that. I know a lot of y'all forgot that because Red Table Talks was such a more of a bigger event. Yeah. It was such more of a bigger event. But even when you watch that, look in Will's eyes. Don't look at the smile. Look at his eyes. Don't listen to the chuckle. Look in his eyes. Look in his eyes. He was melting. Whatever agreements they had about how they was going to run their relationship, something happened in this case that did not fit that agreement.
Yeah.
And then y'all, some of the same people defending him now, went in on Will. Went in on him.
You know how many August jokes I heard over the week?
Oh my goodness. Went in on him. And I could clearly see that man suffering. He ain't even moving the same. But everybody was so concerned with the hot new joke of the week.
Mm-hmm.
The hot new meme. Oh, this is fodder for us to talk about. Everybody was concerned with that. Everybody. That man need help. He need help. I would argue everybody in that situation did.
Oh, sure,
I have heard all of the takes about this shit this week, and I gotta tell you, y'all then took leave of your senses with some of the shit. I legitimately saw people taking narratives that have been carefully crafted in order to address long-standing systemic issues and toss them shits out the window.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who have never heard the phrase white gaze, that's Gaze, right? Mm-hmm. This phrase has actually multiple meanings, and it was actually coined by Toni Morrison first, right? But this has multiple. One of the definitions of that is that Black people will act a certain type of way or not act a certain type of way when white people are watching.
Right. There
are historical reasons for this that have been passed down from generation to generation through narrative.
Mm-hmm.
The larger, more valid part of that is that in the society we live in, the white demographic has a disproportionate amount of power when it comes to the levers that move the society, right? So their perception of you can affect how they pull those levers.
Yeah.
If you're not one of them. And a lot of Black people are very conscious of that. I saw people saying that Will shouldn't have done that because white people was watching. And I saw other people take that to mean, oh, he shouldn't do it because white. There's a deeper meaning behind why they said that.
Yeah.
As we see playing out right now. We see that shit playing out right now. The whole systemic racism thing is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally part of one demographic having just a disproportionate amount of influence on the levers of power and can make things happen on a whim of how they feel about certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all want to toss that out.
Right.
That very real concept out to protect Will Smith, a grown-ass $350 million man who made a decision that day to get up there on stage and do what he did. Y'all want to toss that out. I saw Black, It wasn't a big number, but I felt like this needed to be addressed. I saw some black women actually crowing about the transatlantic slave trade and how white men kept black men in their place. And they were using this towards people who were saying, yo, Will shouldn't have did that.
Mm-hmm.
Will shouldn't have did that. What? What? They were doing that to you too, sis. Your great-great-grandmother, she was getting it too.
Mm-hmm.
You crow about that? I saw the bullshit. And it's crazy to me the way people would do that. Just like I saw, look, y'all, if y'all can't see the parallel that people are coming up with when they say he did a documentary on good hair, that's tone deaf. At the very least, that's tone deaf. At the very least. That still don't mean I think Will should have got up there and did that. Because that's not how I would handle that.
Right.
Everybody talking tough too. Before I give this over to SPJ, everybody's talking tough, right? Everybody's talking tough. When I know for a fact, when y'all was at work, somebody said something crazy and you ain't pop off. Because of consequences, time and place. You probably checked that motherfucker afterwards. But this is how I would handle it, especially considering the fact that they're saying he's been salty about Chris Rock's words since at least 2016.
Right.
Which means he had.
Which is alleged.
This is alleged because we only heard this from one source for real. Right. That was Tyrese.
Yeah.
Mr. What more do they want from me? So you gotta take that. You gotta take it with a grain of salt. But
I'm sorry. I have to break away from my rule for a second.
Yes.
And I believe him, Palm.
I do too. Now
I believe Tony.
I expect Tony to say that that's his brother.
Yeah.
Smack my brother. Smack any of my brothers. Smack him. And see what position I take. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ladies and gentlemen, just to be clear, that was sarcasm.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole thing with all of this is that y'all went all in on each other. Y'all went all in on each other, saying some of the worst shit ever towards each other over a slap boxing match between Will Smith, $350 million, and Chris Rock, which I found out is not $1 billion, it's $60 million. I don't know where that billion number came from.
No.
But let me tell you what. There's so many different ways he could. I would have. First of all, you call him over to the crib or wherever afterwards. Like, yo, let's talk about some projects we can do together. Just giving you an example. If I'm in it, let's talk about some projects we can get together. Oh, sure, no problem. No problem, Rock. No problem. Smith, Will, you know how you talk. He comes over. We shake hands. Whoa, what's up? Glad to see you. Before he pulls away, don't pull away. What was that shit you said about my wife?
Right.
Yo, why you always on my wife? No, don't pull away. I'm trying to get answers. Why you always on my wife? And then if it gets iffy,
that's a different. Yeah.
There's no witnesses there.
Right.
And it becomes a rumor.
Right.
This is a rumor now that this happened.
Rumors I can deal with.
Right. Like, also, Will
particularly when you're Will Smith.
Will would have dealt with it better.
Yeah.
He would have dealt with it better because you see all the consequences happening now.
Right. And we won't get into that.
Yeah, but I find it funny. Find it funny how that he slipped once in all these years. And y'all willing to say fuck him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not willing to do that. While I disagree with what the fuck he did, because I wouldn't have done it, not gonna tell him what to be mad at. I ain't gonna tell Jada what to be mad at. It's none of my fucking business. I didn't slap nobody. I didn't get slapped, and my wife didn't get joked.
Right.
So I don't have no personal skin in this. That's why I'm looking at y'all responses to this shit like, holy cow.
All right. So, my general take. I'm multi-world.
Yes, you are.
That is the only gang I rep. And y'all see me fuss with these niggas often.
Right.
I'm not team people are so sensitive.
No, before you say that, I just got to say how I told you before, but they need to know how dumb this shit has gotten. My wife went to Starbucks the other day, and they had 2 tip cups there. One tip cup said Team Chris. The other one said Team Will. What the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Continue. I didn't mean to cut your wisdom. Continue.
I'm not team people are so sensitive. I'm not team everything is fair play. Right. I'm not team violence is never the answer. I'm not team show your ass on camera. I'm not team Will. I'm not team Chris.
Where you grow up at, yo?
Baltimore, Maryland.
You don't do no shit from no motherfucking cameras. You crazy.
I'm not team Will. I'm not team Chris. I'm not team Jada.
Nope.
Right now, I'm not SPJ. I'm James. I'm James. This is coming. This is from me.
Right.
This is me. This is not the character I play on BCG. This is me. What you say can get you hit.
Yes, sir.
It's tradition. It's gospel.
It's happened.
That don't make it right.
Right.
A lot of y'all are conflating what y'all would do and what you can justify.
Oh, hit him
with what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, hit him.
Let me get a little bit deeper. Chris Rock did not make an alopecia joke.
No.
That is not what happened.
What happened?
Chris Rock made a joke that is about something that is a side effect of alopecia, and it happened to be directed at someone with alopecia. Let me explain to you that this isn't semantics. Side note, I hate a lot of you smart, well-meaning people because you do so much semantic tongue wrestling that the idiots can't separate that from arguments that go in depth about pertinent details.
That's a fact.
I digress. If you make fun of a person in a wheelchair, it's reasonable to assume that they are in said wheelchair due to some unfortunate situation.
Right, right.
That same reasonable doubt, for lack of a better term, does not apply to a woman with a shaved head. It does not. Jada Pinkett Smith talking on her show and doing interviews about having alopecia does not mean everybody in the world has seen those things. I honestly do not remember if I knew about it before the situation or not.
I didn't.
But I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't because I don't follow Jada.
And a lot of people don't.
Right.
She's not an A-list celebrity where everything she does, the news reports on. That's not.
She's married to an A-list celebrity.
Right.
Also, stop conflating alopecia with cancer. I've seen I've seen so many comparisons to Chadwick that I am disgusted.
No, you didn't, yo.
I remember when y'all said y'all was gonna stop talking about people because we did what we did to Chadwick. First of all, speak for your fucking self.
Right? right.
Second of all, alopecia and cancer do not belong in the same category.
Don't, yo. Like, come on.
And it's just not. That's not real. It's not a real thing.
Tell me you ain't see that, yo.
I've seen it. Oh, I've seen TikToks about it. I've seen it written out in text. Next, the joke wasn't funny
at all. At all.
It wasn't funny.
That joke was lame.
It was not funny at all.
Lame, yo.
It was the throwaway gag. Legitimately.
Unfunny as a motherfucker.
Next, Black women are absolutely not protected as much as they should be.
Nope.
That is a statement of fact. That is not my opinion.
Yep.
If you have been listening to me speak on this show, if
and elsewhere, by the way,
if you were a friend of mine on Facebook, particularly my old Facebook, when I was down to word wrestle with
it's phrasing
anybody, facts, with anybody at the drop of a dime on that shit,
right?
You'll know that I hold this stance and have forever held this stance. Next point, every person has the right to be offended by whatever they choose.
Yo, please say that again for those in the cheap seats.
Every person, each and every one of you, has the right to be offended at whatever you choose to be offended at. Next point.
I can't tell you what to be mad at, nigga.
No. Next point. Committing violence. Listen to this clearly, because we've addressed this several times since we started this. Committing violence in public / in front of a camera is never the answer.
Okay. Yo, it's so alien. That is so alien to me. And
that's
I know
a wild bar.
I know it's upbringing, y'all. I know it is. I know everybody had that same upbringing. I know it is.
Sure.
But yo, the idea that you do something like that in front of cameras and snitches. That shit.
Yo, you don't even need snitches, realistically.
Facts.
If Will Smith was not a millionaire.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Because here's the thing. Because it was live in front of how many millions of people watching at home and how many people were in the fucking venue, the police technically don't need Chris Rock.
They don't.
To pull up charges on Will Smith. They just needed one person that was in the room.
Yep.
Just one to corroborate the video.
Yep.
That's all they needed. But because it's Will Smith, it would not be a good usage of the DA's time to do such.
Right.
So again, I said committing violence in public / in front of a camera is never the answer. Encouraging your people to commit violence in front of cameras is never the answer. And here's the last one for you in this little trifecta. Allowing your people to commit violence in public in front of cameras is never the answer.
Yo, let me ask you this question. How often in the last 3 or 4 years has it been said that, statistically speaking, the more times Black people have to engage with police officers, it increases the odds of a tragedy taking place?
Yep.
So how can you have been saying that all this time and are now promoting the idea that we supposed to be wigging out and doing fuck shit on cameras? We ain't worth. How many of us worth 350 million and been in a bunch of movies that everybody loves? Hardly any of us. If that's the standard, you're gonna get a lot of niggas killed and locked up.
Right. Just point blank. Next point. No, Will's career is not over. Cut it
not
out.
At all.
Not
at
it.
all.
Stop it. Please stop it.
His career is not over.
Next. In my book, Chris gets major points for keeping his composure.
He didn't fall.
Listen. There's an angle out there of the incident where you can see him square up for a second. He balls his fist up. He moves his plant foot. And then he looks back at Will and realizes that Will has turned around.
Go ahead.
Listen. Now here's the thing. For all you super tough people out there, no matter if he stopped because of optics,
right?
No matter if he stopped because of monetary self-interest, no matter if he stopped for physical well-being, it was probably a combination of 3.
Yep.
He still deserves props.
Yep.
So Next point. Whether he wrote,
how many of y'all can get slapped on your job and continue working?
Right. It's not a real thing. It's not a real thing. It's a unicorn. I wouldn't have believed it until I saw it.
I wouldn't believe it.
Whether he wrote the joke or not, it was still an unfunny joke he shouldn't have told.
Yeah, it was still ass.
Here's the thing. Sorry to burst your bubble. Yes, this makes black people look bad. No, it's not fair. That doesn't stop it from being true. If there was another writer and it was Wanda Sykes, that's effectively him still making the joke, because if you don't know, he and Wanda Sykes have been working together since been pimping.
I wanna address something real fast before we get away from it, because people will take a soundbite and make it seem like it was more than what it is. This is why SBJ says it makes black people look bad. And none of y'all should really be disagreeing with that. Because for years we've been complaining about how we get judged by our worst examples.
Yep.
That has been the thing since we've been here.
Yep.
That I'm saying this again. That has been the thing since we've been here. We get
Something
judged
being wrong doesn't make it not true.
Exactly. We get judged. That's what people mean when they say that. They don't mean because Will did it. That means all of us are like that. That's not what they mean when they say that. What they mean when they say that is that, you know how they always tend to judge us by our worst example.
Yeah. It's that simple. To feign otherwise is
an
just
ignorance
ignorant.
Of 400 years of history.
Like
fuck
like realistically, you can't tell me you don't care about that when Oscars So White was a thing.
Yeah.
That's just
which, by the way, I think Chris's joke at the 2016 one hit harder.
Yeah.
And was like, I found it at the time. Like, wow, B, that's kind of disrespectful.
Right.
Because you're undervaluing her career and what she has done. Like that I thought that was way crazier than, but again, I can't tell somebody else what to get mad at. I'd have been mad at that though. Like I'd have called them on that. I'd have called them on that. Especially when they asked him not to do it because they was trying to get more diversity of people getting recognized for their shit, and he still went and did it. And then when he went up there, he took a shot. Like, no, I would have had a conversation with him about that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Or two.
Something.
And I wrote this down again. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I just want to get this through your heads.
Yes.
Something being something you would do, or even would be justified in doing, doesn't make it right.
Right.
That slap was not just about a joke, or Chris, for that matter.
No, it wasn't.
There are deeper issues and a couple other things. So Fat Joe commented on it. Now, I didn't write down his take word for word, but he brought up the fact that there are some women who appear to get turned on. And for those that don't understand, this isn't just a sexual
No,
thing.
you're not talking about,
Yeah. There are some women who appear to get turned on seeing their men in physical altercations. And he referenced one woman that he was dating. I don't know if it's his current wife or whatever the case may be. He referenced one woman that he was dating, and she went as far as telling him she wanted to go out with just him to a place they went to the night before, and he'd gotten into a brawl with several people. You may have never heard this kind of take from me. Listen clearly, because generally when I pare down, I address Black women positively and Black men on a disciplinary kind of thing. Just generally, because it is what it is. Fellas, if you run into a girl like this, yes, I said girl, not woman, please run the other way, because she doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
That's just not how that works. Perhaps most annoying in all this, they done brought Derek Jackson back out of hiding.
No,
now,
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Only being slightly facetious.
I'm mad.
He may or may not have been Yeah, he may or may not have been back to making content, but this topic was big enough to bring him back to my algorithm.
I shouldn't have ever.
And I hate y'all for that.
Right.
I hate y'all.
Right.
I hate y'all guts for that. All right, so now let's get into general fallout. Let me see.
Oh wait, one last thing that needs to be addressed. I had somebody tell me that this was a message for all other comedians out there.
Yes. No, that's part of this.
Okay.
It's part of this.
Okay.
Part of this.
Okay.
So I have a bunch of screenshots to go through. First, this example of what I specifically was talking about earlier. I saw someone who I've been Facebook friends with for years, and some of you, I'm sure, are his friend as well. He made a comment on the post. The original post was praising Will. Someone commented in the thread, violence is never the answer. The aforementioned Facebook friend says, violence is sometimes the answer.
Depends on the question.
Perfectly valid response to the incorrect platitude that violence is never the answer.
Yes.
Perfectly, absolutely appropriate response.
Depends on the question.
Someone else said, not in this situation, it's not. And there was a bunch of other stuff. And then at the end, they said, if you can't see that, you should check yourself. The aforementioned Facebook friend goes the fuck off. Did I say it was the answer in that situation, champ? No, I did not. Proceeds to curse the person the fuck out. Bruh, either you're gaslighting, being disingenuous, or you don't understand how conversations and context work.
Yeah.
Because if I'm talking about something and you interject with a statement
that tries to contradict what I'm saying,
generally that means we're talking about the same thing.
Right.
If you are just having some type of weird outburst, you can't hold somebody else to you
having Tourette's.
Like what are we doing here? But anyway,
some replies are Pavlovian.
Sure.
Like it's reflex. They've heard these talking points and phrases for years. So it's almost like if someone says this, you say this
immediately. Yeah.
They're not really thinking. They're not really thinking.
Nah. So this has been unavoidable this week. Sports outlets, hip hop outlets, battle rap outlets, wrestling outlets, comic book outlets, all have reported or referenced in this. Another thing, Tyler Perry, Bradley Cooper, Denzel Washington had to calm Will down. Denzel, at least, also went over to Chris to talk to him. Can
you imagine having Denzel,
bruh,
walking over to you, putting his hands on your shoulder, say, "Look, son,
right."
And look, Tim, I know you got a nice little fan base going on over there. But if you want to keep any of that, keep your hands off these motherfuckers.
I would be willing to bet money that Denzel definitely referenced white gays.
Yes, he did.
Without credit.
Sam did too. Sam did too.
There's no way around it.
Sam did too.
Some of y'all phony
as shit.
Some of y'all phony. Where was this something shouldn't be joked about energy for Dave Chappelle? Where was it when y'all was out here joking on their marriage or on Jada herself? Because with the Chappelle thing, I specifically remember, if I got to talk about this, as far as my comedians writing, generally it changes all the time. But generally, the consensus, Chappelle is one. Chris Rock is somewhere in that top 5 for me personally. Y'all heard me get on here and condemn Chappelle.
Yep,
because he was wrong.
Yep,
that's how that's supposed to work.
Yep,
you can separate your fandom of somebody's work
and disagree with something they did. McKenna said it best. She said, exactly. We can like their movies without having to get up in arms over stuff in their personal lives or laugh and move on when they do bring their personal problems into the spotlight.
Yeah, you can separate the two.
You can
absolutely separate the two. Y'all love Will. I get it. I love Will. I'm a fan of Chris Rock and Will Smith. That's not
what this is about.
That's not what this is about at all. All right, so I'm here for the jokes as well because I've been laughing all week. What did Chris Rock think Will was doing? That's a legitimate question because
I know. I think I know what he thought Will was doing. Just by what he said when he saw Will walking up there. So Will walks up there with the slippery Earls on, trying not to fall. Y'all know it's a thing.
Yeah.
Y'all know it's a thing.
Oh, yeah, come on now. That stage has been buffed.
Right.
It's been buffed.
So the way he walked up there was he was trying to negotiate himself so not to fall.
Yeah.
When Chris saw him do that, he was probably thinking, this is going to be an epic bit.
True.
That they're going to talk about. And he even calls him Richard.
He does.
He calls him Richard.
Richard.
This is what the bit is because he saw the movie. And Richard is a strong advocate.
You late as shit, Ogden.
I ain't even get into my take on Richard either. But he looked at him. He looked at him and said, "Oh, he about to come up
Richard.
here. Okay, Richard about to come up here and act like, hey, I'll talk about my wife, man. That little thing. He did not." So when he put that's the other thing I thought people was extremely dumb with this, right? They said he put his head like this. Yo, he thought he was gonna say something in his ear.
Right.
He just was, here comes Richard. He's then it's that.
Listen to me clearly. Chris Rock? That jaw rock hard.
Granted. It's
rock hard. Also, I wonder what the energy would have been if that were Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I think we all know what the energy would
be. Because Will Smith,
I'm glad
you said 6'3", 6'4",
6'2".
6'2".
I looked it up. He's 6'2".
And he the last time I heard anything about his weight, he was trying to cut down to 215.
Yes.
Chris Rock is like 5'7". I want to say at the most, soaking wet, 155.
Yeah, something like that.
It's easy. I'm just saying, it appears to me it's easier to go up to a person that you got by 7 inches and 60 pounds.
So this is the cap I'm talking about, right? I saw people ask that exact same question in threads. And the response of the people defending Will's action was like, oh, he bought that life. He would have done that.
Well, here's the thing. There are two things can be true. Two things can be true. He is from West Philly. He could absolutely be about that life.
He could.
He could also absolutely still not have done that. That's the Rock.
That's the Rock.
That's the Rock.
For those who don't know, I know Rock says a lot of platitudes. Have you ever read his book? Because I read his book years ago. And I'm here to tell you right now that thing that we see of him, his curation of his image online, that is not how he has always been. He literally tried to rip somebody's tongue out of their mouth when he was in it. This one he was with the Hurricanes.
Yeah,
he was in there talking to the coach, trying to get his problem solved, and some motherfucker came in there and tried to interrupt him while he was talking to the coach, and he wigged on him and tried to pull the guy's tongue out by the roots.
Yeah, the I know IE family.
Oh my goodness!
Does not play any games. It's not a thing. You won't hear of a scenario of anybody in that bloodline being punked.
Just go talk to any of the other wrestlers about the Island Boys and that family. Everybody from Haku to The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Come on now.
No.
Man, Rikishi was putting people. Come on,
beat your ass out there. Your ass out there. They don't play that.
Come
shit.
On now. I saw people. Oh, he wouldn't do that if it was a white man. And the response to that was a clip of when he smacked some reporter for trying to kiss him. Now here's the thing.
Did you see that smack?
That's what I was about. If you watched when he smacked Chris Rock, it may have looked impactful, but at the same time,
he had the
upon,
mic.
Upon scrutiny, it
like
doesn't look as impactful as it seemed.
He did
that.
Come on, man. No,
that was an earthquake compared to how he slapped that white reporter.
Yo, he
gave him a little tap with the backhand. Like, hey, what you doing? Just a quick get away from me.
And honestly speaking, some motherfucker you don't know putting this goddamn lips on you.
That's going to be your reaction.
I expected more,
if not the 2-hand push.
I was about to say, like, I was expecting more of what he gave Chris.
Right.
That guy.
Right. Like, so if you're using that as your proof, that actually proves the other point.
Palm. Exactly.
That actually proves the other point. That actually proves that he would not apply so much pressure to a white person, because
it does.
He literally tried to kiss him. Like, but anyway,
hold on. Can we bring up this one thing about how they're saying this is the worst thing that ever happened?
Oh, yes. I
disagree.
Yeah.
So was this 73 or 78? I can't remember which year it was. John Wayne. They had to hold him. 4 men had to hold him back from coming on stage, putting his hands on the Native American activist named Little Fella, simply because she talked about Native Americans wanting equality. That's horrible.
That's
horrible.
Disgusting. Yeah, it's atrocious.
Then and other people have made this point too. Roman Polanski won't even come back into the United States because he likes having sex with children.
Yeah.
And I want to know where that outrage was for him too. Like,
right.
Not that you should bring what Will did down.
No, they're not even.
But you should definitely bring that other shit up. Because there ain't nobody take his shit.
Yeah.
I'm for someone taking his shit today.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Right.
A year ago. What the fuck is y'all doing? Why would you? And this is the hypocritical part of it that opens up space for people to defend that. They think they can use that to defend that act. Because it opens up the space for them to go, ha, they didn't do that for this. They didn't do that for that. So leave him alone.
Right.
Nah. You can't do that. You can't. There's gonna has to be consequences. There has to be. And also, before you continue too, your guy said he was wrong. Let it go. The man you defended. Let it go.
Oh, it went away. No. I gotta pull this up. No. Breaking news. Hold on.
Something's breaking? Who broke?
Will.
Oh, well, yeah, he did.
Okay. That's not breaking. It's been a long week.
Did you just do a cable news thing where everything is breaking? I hate
yeah, basically. Yeah, it's not actually breaking. It happened yesterday. I have so y'all here. I have so much for this fucking topic that I stopped looking for new things.
Right.
After slapping presenter Chris Rock on stage at last weekend's Academy Awards, Will Smith announced in a statement Friday that he has resigned.
Yes.
From the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. I am resigning from membership in the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and will accept any further consequences the board deems appropriate.
You know what's funny about that? I saw people trying to take that as him saying, that's right, fuck them. Did you read the whole thing?
Yeah,
he's
no.
Still saying
he goes
wrong.
on. Change takes time, and I'm committed to doing the work to ensure that I never again allow violence to overtake reason. I mean, yeah.
He's literally saying he was wrong. And I saw people take that to mean he's saying, fuck them. That's not what he's saying. Your guy that you're defending said he's wrong. So this is no longer about him and what he did. This is about you.
Yeah. He goes on. He goes on, I deprived other nominees and winners of the opportunity to create and be celebrated for their extraordinary work. I am heartbroken. I want to put focus back on those who deserve attention for their achievements and allow the Academy to get back to the incredible work it does to support creativity and artistry in film. So I'm resigning from my membership.
Yo, I can't stand the Oscars. I'm gonna keep that shit 100 with you.
I mean, it is what it is.
It
is what it is. But next point. Don't let Will or Jada get you fucked up.
Oh, say it for him.
You are not rich and famous. You're not rich and famous. It's likely that that in a somehow similar situation, you are not going to run into somebody that you have by 7 inches and 60 pounds. Those two factors matter.
Yeah,
they are important. This would likely not have happened the way that it did without those two factors.
You're gonna ruin yourself. You're gonna ruin yourself because you're gonna wind up with your ass whipped and then go to jail.
Here's another thing. Oh, y'all don't care about protecting black women. Listen to me clearly.
I ain't got to prove myself.
No, I'm not directly addressing that at all. Because again, my track record,
right?
I don't
get out of here with that.
My stepfather is the type that would probably do what Will did, particularly in his younger days.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the difference. My mother would not let him.
Yo, what did I just tell you earlier about my wife?
Mm-hmm.
Having to check me. Yo, I made this motherfucker peel off in the car for fear I was gonna pull his ass out. And my wife pulled me out, and she said, "I love you. I love that warrior spirit that you got right there, but that is wholly inappropriate."
It's not
wholly inappropriate.
In a grand scheme of things, it's not helpful.
Yes.
Let me see. Comedians are going the fuck in.
Oh my! Hold up.
On Will and Jada.
But to remind y'all, this was supposed to be the big message.
Whole idea. She's going to tell everybody to keep her name up. Nah, B. Because that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Nah. And like I told Tim when I first found out about exactly what was being said, I'm a fan of dark humor. I cringed at some of this shit.
This is cringy shit. Now, here's
some
my
of this
thing.
Shit
here's
terrible.
My thing. All of y'all that defended him doing that, that's cool. We're not going to be able to go and smack all these people. So I expect y'all to handle his light work. So the next time these guys, when he reads off what the fuck these other comedians are saying about Jada, the next time they're in your town, get a ticket, go there and handle Will's light work.
Thanks.
Go handle Will's light work.
Yeah, it's bad. Like bringing back up the gay rumors about Will, in a disparaging way.
I wish we could play some of that shit on the show.
Yeah, I don't know if we can. Like some of it, like Schultz.
Schultz went the fuck in to the point where nigga. See what Chris said is that shit wasn't even funny in length.
Right.
You might get beat up for that.
Yeah.
You might get beat up for
nigga.
That. You might get beat up for that.
Listen to me clearly. If Andrew Schultz would have been presenting that award and made the jokes that he made after this happened on the Oscars, first of all, they wouldn't have went through.
No. And also, to me, that's the equivalent of somebody standing off in the distance cussing my wife the fuck out.
Yeah. If Will would have done what he did in this scenario, I'd have been like, I can't. I can't hold you. This is no, because you. My God,
you went too far. Like you went too far. Like
you've changed things. No, you've clearly changed things.
Andrew Schultz was high key, like he wanted some smoke.
And here's the thing about it. I still, because I try to be as objective as possible, I still see the genius in what he did. Not necessarily that the jokes because again, we've expressed how horrible
they were distasteful as a mother.
Yeah. But from everything from wearing being fully armored in night, the idea behind that, okay, in case he comes in here and
it was
tries
a performance.
Like that. I'm like, yo, that's the worst. It's amazing. It's smart.
Who was that other guy, though, yo?
Tom
the one
Segura.
that was in the car.
Tom Segura, I think.
He said some shit. He was wild. Yo, he was wild. And I'm like,
no,
this shit here, this is the nuance shit right here. This is the shades of gray shit they saying.
Right.
This is some shades of gray shit right here they saying.
Because largely
he went at his kids.
Bro. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, because this is what happens. We
all saw it coming.
Comedians are a cult. I mean, not directly, but you know, it's a type of good old boys club. Mm-hmm. And you will be hard pressed to find a bunch of major comedians that are going to agree with what Will did.
That's also about self-preservation too, because their fear is that they're going to get up there while they doing their shit
and have to worry about being accosted at work.
Right. That's
what now they'll hear me clearly. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying all of them are on the shit that Schultz and Segura are on.
No, all of them haven't said that type of
shit. No, there are some of them that aren't making jokes about it at all. George Wallace
was not on. He
wasn't making jokes, but he was like, "No, this is not acceptable. Like, we can't have this. This is not okay."
But some of the ones that I saw this week, yo, and like I said, y'all went very hard this week to defend the act, and y'all threw out a bunch of narratives that you're gonna need later on to do that. So if it's that important to you, when you see these guys, give them a dig 'em smack. You know what I'm saying? Give me a dig 'em smack. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let me get into these.
Yo, but Eddie has always been a little bit on the other side of things, even with a lot of his takes on other shit. And Tiffany Haddish is, I ain't gonna say it. I caught myself. Did I call myself?
So somebody brought up the fact that Will Smith made a joke about a bald guy back in 1991. Stop it.
Find a comedian that hasn't.
Right.
Even going further back than 91.
Yeah. Come on now.
Find a comedian that hasn't made a joke about bald people.
Let's be intelligent adults that we claim to be.
We also don't want to hear any more of you making any jokes about women's edges, because y'all been doing it. And a lot of the times the reason that their shit is
because of alopecia.
So y'all need to be consistent, because y'all did all this this week. I don't ever want to hear it again, because I don't be making those type of jokes. But I see a lot of these same people that went in like this. Yo, I don't want to hear it from y'all no more.
Someone else said, a white woman, by the way. Is it just me, or does it seem like white men are giving Will Smith shit while women and people of color men get it?
First of all, don't say like she tried to make a general statement.
Yes.
That's not true. Secondly, I already explained why a lot of black women, this is an overcorrection that I sometimes have as well when it comes to certain things. When I see injustice over and over and over and over and over and over happening, and then something else happens on the other side to the furthest extreme, I go, this ain't what I asked for, but all right. So I get it. I get it.
Let me see. Someone says, this man, Chris Rock, made a whole documentary about black hair, how important it is to our culture, how important it is to women, how we live in a world that doesn't love, cherish, respect, and even protect us for our damn something. I don't know what that's supposed to say. This motherfucker knew better, regardless of whether he knew about her condition. He knew better.
Oh no, this is a quote that you need to hear. I don't want to say the guy. I know the guy personally, but he put this in there, and I saved this to a document. Take what you will. So imagine if a 43-year-old man told his wife he wasn't happy and wanted to therefore have an open marriage to solve his current unhappiness. And the women he chose to have sex with to solve his unhappiness and solidify the open marriage with will be the young age of 22, more than half his age. The entire country would drag that man for not only demeaning his wife by saying he is unhappy, but by emotionally forcing her to stay in the marriage while he screwed a 22-year-old. Then what if that man goes on national television to air the details about his entanglement with the 22-year-old baddie because the baddie snitched to the world? The world would drag that man for 6 months. And then he goes, I personally think she cheated with 22-year-old while 43. Then when the sneaky link snitched, maybe to boost his singing career, it went public. So their PR team leaned heavily on the open marriage thing to do damage control. Then the spiral down of emasculation and defeated manhood began. Will was bound to snap any day. Jada has single-handedly ruined Will's life with her cheating, humiliation, and manipulation. So I got to say this about this, right? I told y'all earlier, Will was the first one to put their business out there.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about the cascading effect, it started with that.
Mm-hmm.
It started with that. And even when you look at the that Red Table Talk, Jada even admitted when he said, yeah, because I was done with your ass.
Right.
He literally told that to Jada, I was done with your ass.
Yep. This excerpt is from Will Smith's book. I fought all my life not to be a coward. He was talking about his mother being attacked by his father. And since that moment in his life when he was a child, he has had this fear of being made to look like a coward. So do with that what you will.
There are I see some connections with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as far as what he did
mm-hmm.
and that feeling that he had,
mm-hmm.
I definitely see a connection.
Absolutely.
Like, is this another moment?
Right.
Even though this does not rise to the level, my tier level of offense that's going
to
do some shit like that. But in his mind, he's already broken.
Yep.
In his mind, he's thinking, is this that moment where I didn't stand up for my moms?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna use this moment to stand up for my wife.
Yep.
Who knows?
Another take. My husband is a Will Smith. The difference is I'm not a Jada. That moment before he got up, I'd look at him, grab his hand, and he would have known that I appreciate his energy of protection. But in that moment, as his wife, it would have been my duty to protect him from himself. Some husbands need protection too.
Also protect you. What I will say is, you gotta protect your family from the consequences of your actions. If there was even a chance, because at 350 million, you good for the rest of your life. But even with that, just the concept of if me letting my significant other, as mad as I am about what the other motherfucker did, is me letting my significant other go over there.
Yeah.
The outcome of that going to ruin our family and finances and everywhere else.
We got plans.
We got plans. Is this going to put a crimp in those plans?
Mm-hmm.
And is this motherfucker over here doing this worth the rest of our life being altered for this motherfucker over here? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Ryan Clark, former safety in the NFL. To be clear, I would have made Will Smith throw real hands, but Chris Rock is a true professional.
Hold up. I kind of respect that. Only from the sense of all you got off was that little dig 'em smack.
Right.
Had you waited, you could have caught wreck. You could have caught wreck. Had you waited, you got that little dig 'em smack off. Like,
Tony Baker says, peeps, if a man walks up on stage and slaps me wholesale, y'all better have my back and tear his ass up so I can stay out of jail. Y'all say y'all love me out here. BG's voice. How deep is your love?
Oh no, they love Will. I saw that this week, so they're gonna got his back when
Chris Rock has been canonized.
Yeah, they basically turned Chris Rock. this is the other thing about this that's so bad. You realize, like I said, there's ways to handle shit. Had he got up there when he got his Oscar and dug in Chris Rock's ass and was like, I'm so glad that I don't have to use the misfortune of others in order to enhance my talent. I can go out here and read a script, rap, do my YouTube channel. I'm good. That's how much talent I have. I don't have to put down other people.
Tables are turned a little bit.
Because then the narrative gets shifted. The narrative, now all these other things about certain things that Chris Rock done, remember I told you before, it becomes compound interest. Because now they go, well, yeah, he did do this, and he did say that, he did do that. And now the conversation would not have been something the guy said here. He was like, something to the effect of, this would have been over. Like he said, the cold irony for Will is everybody would have forgotten that joke in 15 seconds, but Will Smith just made everyone remember it forever.
That's a fact. And another thing, he talked about Richard. I'm doing what Richard would do. So you're basing that, you're connecting him being a fierce protector of his family.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Which family? The one that he left and abandoned?
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the ones that made him rich?
This how you know people are unhinged, right? Because I'm gonna give some of the benefit of the doubt they didn't know, because I only found out about that this year.
Yeah, I found out after the movie was
right.
Yeah,
right. That he had Richard Williams had a whole other family on the other side of town that he just left. So by the time most of us get introduced to a Richard Williams, Venus, Serena, the other sisters, the wife, the perception, the public perception is this is a strong father here who did this, and then. You got to be careful when you invoke motherfuckers' names. And then what make it worse, when they asked Richard Williams about the incident, what did Richard say? Oh no, we don't co-sign.
Yeah, he didn't condone it. Yeah, he didn't condone it at all. So I mean, come on.
This was not. Y'all can paint it any way you want. That's fine. Again,
he owned you like the job,
right?
Just like he did in the first family. I want that. No, because that needs to be.
That needs to sit there. That needs to sit That needs to sit there, yo.
Like he gets all the praise. All right, cool. He did do what he did for Venus and Serena. Absolutely. But again,
act like the other.
He abandoned an entire other family.
And that's the other thing. This week, I saw. This is what I mean by doing the most. Every single person, especially a celebrity more than anything else, that had anything to say that they thought that wasn't it, people went and grabbed all their shit from the past and put it under.
Oh my God, Zoe.
Urza ain't even saying nothing.
Right.
He caught it too.
He was collateral damage.
B.
Mick Foley, the legend. If it was The Rock, instead of Chris Rock making the same G.I. Jane reference, there is no slap. The vessel of love is a bully.
I want to talk about that too. Will says, I want to get this. Listen, y'all. I know a lot of people want to see humans do better, but I got to tell you, I don't think it's happening.
I don't foresee that coming to pass.
Will said in his second apology, there is no room for violence in the world of love and kindness. What world he living on?
Yeah, that's incorrect.
For those of you that
you're overcorrecting now,
that you're overcorrecting, yo, and I get it. We all have, or at least at some point had, aspirations for humanity to be better than what it has been. But when it comes to violence, I have a very nuanced view on that because, I mean, you talked about this before, SBJ. Nature is violent. We are not separate from nature. We are a part of it. The difference, of course, we have a higher cognitive ability. Right. So we assume that we would eventually develop in a way to be able to direct this very natural thing in a way that helps us and not harms us. Yeah. So in the case of you defending your life, defending the life of your loved ones, You know what I'm saying? Defending shit like that. This is where you typically, we want to think we typically can utilize violence as a tool to protect ourselves and others. But if we're being honest, this is people we're talking about.
That's it. That's it.
It's not going to be that way in every single case. So I'm with y'all. I didn't like what the fact that's not something I would have done.
Right.
But at the same
time,
I
never addressed that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Will Smith, I'm probably never touching Chris Rock. There are other ways.
There are other ways, but I ain't gonna
I'm probably going to end his career. Like legitimately.
That's really what hurt him.
Yeah, I'm probably going to end his career. I'm probably going to dedicate the next 5 years of my life to ending his career. Legitimately. I'm not going to say necessarily specifically in that instance, because you have people that are on each side of the fence about him laughing.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, nervous laughter is a thing. If you've never experienced nervous laughter, you're not a person.
Facts.
Second of all, Will Smith has spent his entire career doing effectively damage control.
Yep.
He has been putting out an image that he wants the people to see. When you do that as your default, when you're out in the world, when you're out at the place that is for some people, pinnacle of that very thing, you're going to do that same thing. When a comedian is on stage, you're going to laugh at their jokes because you know at some point the camera's going to be on you.
Right.
Yes, so he looks over and sees that his wife is less than pleased.
Can we talk about that for a second, too?
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing people say she was close to tears. Did you see any footage that
None?
I didn't see that either. So I don't know how they saw it.
It's a bunch of scenarios where people are injecting their own shit into the situation as if it's fact.
Yeah. Like the one thing I heard them saying about, well, they said that Will asked Chris before that. And yet when you talk to Chris's people, they're like, that conversation never took place. So they're choosing to believe that side of this claim because it bolsters their point. I would say to you, I'm choosing to not put it into evidence, period.
Nope.
Because we have no evidence that conversation ever took place. And the only reason why you want it, this is what I mean by the disingenuous argumentation that I've seen. And I know this comes from some people. It comes from them projecting the overall issue they have onto this event and making this event the proxy for their shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Oh, she did. Footage. Now, there was evidence of that.
Yeah, I saw that footage.
She laughed and smiled, and when he came back to his seat, she leaned in and said, she said something. You know, we don't know what she said.
Right.
But also, again, another take. That bald-headed hoe needed her feelings hurt. She should work through health issues as well. She can afford a wig or a head wrap. She just an attention whore.
Yo, let me tell you something. You can get beat up talking that shit to my wife.
Bruh. So the response to this was, or she could just do what she's doing. Not everyone hides what they're going through.
Right.
Hey.
Right.
Because like what? Right. Why would that be your reaction? I can't, like, a lot of these dumb reactions, I can at least understand where they come from. I don't get this one. What reason do you have to dislike Jada so much that you decide to
call her all this
yeah,
shit? I don't really, I don't have any negative feelings towards any of them.
Right.
Again, like I said, I don't, if you're honest, you know damn well you ain't got no skin in this.
No, I don't got a dog in this fight.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we just talking about the events.
Perfect question for what you just said. Are you upset it happened, or are you upset that a black man did something wrong in a predominantly and historically white space? That's a deep question.
It's a deep question.
Like I told y'all in the group chat, that was legitimately my first thought was, fuck. all this.
When they had all these black people win these awards.
Right. A black person is producing the fucking show, Will Packer. And
you
it's
see
like,
how they conveniently ignored all of that. They have to ignore all of those other factors in order to make it black and white that this was the right thing to do. Yeah. They would literally have to do that. They have to ignore all that other shit.
Yeah. I love this take from Medflex. What Will did was wrong. But if some dude made a target out of my wife's hair who was publicly struggling with accepting herself over said hair, I might not make the right choice either.
I'm glad he said it. Yo, thank you.
That's it.
Thank
it.
You. Don't sit up there and try to justify the shit.
No.
If you feel like, that's why I said I can't tell Will and Jada what to get mad about. All I can tell you is how I would have handled it. Because I know I'm gonna see this motherfucker again. Chris Rock and Will Smith have known each other since at
least the 90s, because he was on
the Fresh Prince show. They know each other for years. Like there was so many different ways where this would not have been the conversation. This wouldn't even have been on this show.
No, at all. There's no way.
Yo, it's one thing if options matter, and he had a plethora of them.
Oh, because he's rich.
Yeah, man.
He had all the options available.
And he's loved. Listen.
Loved. Again, one of the biggest stars on the planet.
Yeah.
Somebody to my future husband, don't slap anyone for me that hasn't put their hands on me first, especially if I'm in front row at what is now known as a comedy show. That's not protection. It's childish. Use your words. Not up for debate. I said what I said. And the caption to that was, so weak. Slap a motherfucker because he's actually a threat, not for doing what he's supposed to do.
Here's the other thing about that. At a comedy show, don't even yell up there. He has a mic. He has a mic.
You gonna make it worse.
No one's gonna hear your shit.
Yeah, no, B. No, B.
No one's gonna hear your shit.
Oh, here's another take. Jada was humiliated publicly by a dude who had a history of making their family the butt of his jokes. Again, let me add some context to that. Okay. We get hung up over truth. Truth is objective.
Yeah, I hate truth.
A fact is a fact.
That term, yo. I hate.
Yeah,
exactly. I hate to use that
Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith have been targeted by one of the most famous comedians in the world for decades because they've been one of the most famous couples in the world for decades. That's how that works. Comedians comment on pop culture. They comment on their lives. They comment on all these different things. What is the constant? Since Chris Rock has been such a huge comedian, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett have been in the limelight. So yes, there are a bunch of other people that he has targeted for decades as well. Fab. But anyway, I digress.
That's a good point though, bro. Did you bring that up? So this is what's known as selective. This is selective shit because y'all didn't name. What about all them other people that celebrities that he's talking about in his shit? So just from the side, I'm not telling them that you can't add that onto the list of grievances that you may have. But what I'm telling you is she ain't the only one. He's been and he's not the only one. All these comedians, whatever's in the news, whatever's popping, they do a form of that algorithmic shit you do on YouTube. Oh, this is in the news. I'm gonna do a video about it.
All right, I gotta talk about it.
Right, right.
It's that simple. She continues to saying Will should have dealt with it privately is asinine at best. And while violence isn't necessarily the best response, I can almost guarantee that everyone harping about it has cheered when the same scene played out in the theater.
What?
You dumbass. Listen.
What?
I actively, see another thing. I actively avoid calling women dumbasses on air. I purposely try to not do that. This woman right here is a dumbass. To compare something that happens in a scripted arena and people enjoying it as some type of condemnation for them having an issue with it happening in real life is, what's the word she used? Asinine.
Yo,
it's one of the dumbest comparisons I've ever heard in my life.
Read that first part.
First part?
Yeah, that she said.
The very first part or the part after I went back to her?
No, the very first part.
Jada was humiliated publicly by a dude who had a history of making their family the butt of his jokes.
All right, now keep going.
Saying Will should have dealt with it privately is asinine at best.
Stop. Wow. Full stop. Why? Why?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It's one of these isms. It's one of these isms. If the disrespect is public, the consequence or the apology has to be just as public.
It still could have been. Yes. Hear what I'm saying.
It could have.
If he'd have dealt with this afterwards, Chris could have put a statement out afterwards.
Absolutely.
Saying that. And it still would have been public.
Still would have been public.
Chris is not a stranger to Will. Will is not a stranger to Chris.
Right.
They know each other. Like I said, people keep conflating a lot of dumb shit, right? They acting as if this was some random dude on a corner being asked to your wife. This is somebody he knows. He knows this guy. They know each other. Nah, this is not going to be the only opportunity he has to address that, yo. Like,
right.
Come on, man.
So this one was pathetic. This was tweeted Sunday. All jokes aside, what Hollywood will see in the next few days are Chris and Will protecting each other in front of the press because as Black men, especially creatives, we exist in a white environment where we can't afford to be portrayed as aggressive or unhinged. And he was right.
I gotta tell you something.
It's what happened.
This is what they're doing now. And also, apparently regular people have the benefit of not caring that they appear unhinged. This is what I'm learning this week. I'm looking at this shit going, listen, like I said before, I have a understanding of how some women, because it hasn't been all Black women, but some women are overcorrecting what's happening in their life. Yeah. But I gotta tell you, like my wife has always had men to protect her.
Yeah.
That was willing to go to do that. My sister has always had men to protect her. So their takes on this is a little different. Some of the women haven't. Some of these women haven't.
That's exactly
they haven't.
One of my coworkers, I've met her husband. He seems to be that type of man.
Yeah.
She said to me, hey, what you think about the Will and Jada thing? I said, Will and Chris thing. I said, both of them was wrong. She said, exactly. That was the end of the conversation. That was the end of the conversation. So now a couple jokes. So everybody may not be familiar, but there's a meme that goes around with Future because he's so toxic and has all these baby mamas and blah blah blah. It's a joke. Here's one. I saw how The Rock reacted to Will Smith smacking Chris Rock at the Oscars. Made me wonder if you would still be mine if I put that rock on your finger. You made me feel like a king, like Richard. You don't have to text back. Tell your mom I said hello.
Yo, I hate all of you. That's a thing.
Wait, another joke. Another joke. People from Philly not going to shut up about this for the next 20 years. Another one.
Hold up, B. That's not true. So leave my Phillians alone, yo.
Another one. Praying for all the Black people at work asked to give an opinion about all of this tomorrow. Now here's the thing. I actually did not have that happen. The only two people even mentioned it to. No, three people. Two of them were Black, and neither of those situations led to an extended conversation. And one of them was white, and that conversation didn't lead to an extended conversation. She just said, "Did you see?"
Right.
I said yes. She said, "Yeah." End of the conversation.
Here's the thing that people don't seem to realize about that, right? So now all the people who went publicly talking about, because it's one thing about what you would, like you said earlier, it's one thing about what you would do, versus what you can justify.
Mm-hmm.
And then all those people that went dumb hard to not only say this is what they do, but justify it.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to work, I expect the first time at lunch or in the middle of some shit that y'all doing, somebody pop off. If you don't pop off, you look wild pussy. Because you spent all this week talking about how this is what you would have done.
Mm-hmm.
And you look wild. You look wild right now. Like I said, it's a difference between what you would have done and what you can justify. I am the first one to tell you, yo, this is going to be wrong, but I can't live with it, so they not either. They not either. You know what I'm saying? Like come on. Nathan Fillion. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Couple more jokes. Chris Rock's next comedy special is about to be ruthless. Pray for the Smith family in advance. See, here's the thing. He doesn't have to do it now.
No, he don't have to do it.
He don't have to do it now. He's going to talk about it at some point, but he doesn't have to go in.
And he don't have to go in for the revenge. Angle. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you what I think he's gonna do. He's gonna start off with the he's gonna pwn himself first. He's gonna pwn himself first. The self-deprecation shit.
Yeah,
he's gonna do that, and then he's gonna do the Mark Twain introspection thing to try to put a macro overall thing, and he's going to push it towards the agenda of comedians need to be safe when they doing their shit.
Facts. Yo, that's the only thing I wish, and I have no idea if this would have happened or not. I wish it was Chappelle.
It'll never happen.
It wouldn't have happened to Chappelle. Again, I'm generalizing when I say that Will Smith wouldn't have done this to The Rock. He would not have done this to Dave Chappelle.
I'm definitely generalizing. I'm speculating.
He probably wouldn't have done it to Cat, even though Cat is small. Cat is not afraid to go to jail.
No, Cat will go to jail. And even though I saw him get his ass whipped by that kid.
Oh yeah, the little kid beat his ass.
Beat his ass, but that's not.
That was my point. That was my point with the Chris Rock thing. You only engaging when you think you're going to win is the pussy thing.
Yeah, that is facts.
That's the pussy thing.
That's facts.
Deciding not to do it for a myriad of reasons, one of them potentially being your safety. I get it.
Right.
I get it. Another joke. A meme of Jada. Caption says, Will, I'm not impressed. Tupac would have shot him.
Well, y'all, first of all, y'all gonna stop doing is bringing Pac name into this shit, yo. Y'all gonna stop bringing Pac name. That man been gone for how many years now? Come on, man, leave him out of that.
Apparently, it don't matter.
Yeah, it's gonna be 50 years from now. They're gonna be bringing Pac name up.
The last screenshot I have on this: toxic masculinity. The lesson here is when Will gets mad, he starts slapping people. Should we be concerned about his wife and kids?
I don't like that take.
I
don't like that. I don't like that. Yo, you ain't never. This is the shit I was talking about earlier. When that man has been cleaner than the board of health.
Yeah.
For all this time, he slips up this one time, and y'all making it out like you have literally never heard him about him running with a crew of niggas that was doing crazy shit. You never heard him about him destroying a hotel room. You never heard none of this stuff about Will. He did this one time, and now, don't get me wrong, he should be criticized for it. But y'all ODing on that other shit. Y'all ODing on that other shit, trying to make that man seem like he's this. I don't know. We don't know what Will could have possibly been doing. Stop it. Stop it.
You're going too far at this point.
You're doing too much right now. You're doing too much.
Like, what are we really doing here? Like, I think that's a step too far.
It is, B. Like I said before, I'm not mad at Will because it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't slapped. My wife wasn't insulted. I had nothing to do with that. So I'm not mad at him. I still like Will Smith. Right? But there's a difference between liking what people do and what they generally represent.
Right.
And justifying some shit that you think is wrong. Because it's what's really pussy? It's really pussy to say that you think that shit is right because everybody else saying they think it's right.
Bruh.
That's pussy as shit.
You're allowed to have your own take.
Yeah, bro. Like
You're allowed to have a nuanced take.
And my take is relatively nuanced. Yeah. Is that one? I understand why some black women celebrated that. I get it because I know how I am. If I see something I perceive to be an injustice happening over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it never gets addressed or gets dismissed when I bring it up, and then something happens on the other end of that discussion that's to an extreme, it's not what I asked for, but fuck it. Fuck it. It's not what I asked for, but fuck it. So I get that. Feel about it the way you feel about it. Me, everything inside me that was raised in Emerson Village, west side of Baltimore, rebels against the idea of committing a criminal act in front of cameras and snitching ass snitches. It just doesn't behoove me. Don't register that shit. So when I hear people saying, like you said earlier, promoting the idea that this is what our people should be doing.
Nah, B.
This is a disservice to our folks, and you're gonna get a lot of people hurt.
Yeah.
Both financially, legality wise, and physically.
You also had Jim Carrey come out saying he would absolutely sue.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Jim Carrey say
that Chris Rock should sue. And here's the thing. I ain't mad at that take.
I ain't even, because just take it out of every other piece of politics that you can think of. This is a man struck another man while he was at work. If you take it strictly going by this, he has every right to go and seek litigation behind that. But because nothing is in a vacuum, I'm glad Chris didn't do it.
He still can.
He still can. You don't know that he won't.
Right. Because I think Jim Carrey said 200,000 or something like that.
Did he say 200,000? I could have sworn it was an M in that. So
it might have been. It might have been 200 million. I don't know, but he said he would absolutely be suing, and he called. But Jim Carrey went in. He called Hollywood cowards because
they all laughed or they let him stay there
and applauded. Because here's the thing. Laughing at the slap is fine.
Yeah.
The reason it's fine is because at that very moment,
they didn't know this was real or not. Right.
That's fine. I'm not mad at anybody for laughing at the actual slap.
Venom's back. He said 200 million. Yo, Vermin is crazy, yo.
But the point is that I believe Jim Carrey is making is the award.
Yeah.
When Will accepted the award, everybody got up and gave him a standing ovation. I think that's the part that Jim Carrey is talking about.
Yeah, that award is meaningless now, by the way.
Bruh.
He made it meaningless with it because now every time it's like I heard I forget who made this take, but they basically was like that award has been Macklemore. You know,
bruh.
That award means that nobody he don't want to bring that up now. Like don't want to bring that up now.
That's real shit.
Yeah.
That's real shit. But yeah, that's all I
got. We want to thank all of you for sitting through yet another Saturday of Saturday morning cartoons, especially this very special episode.
Yeah, because we usually we don't fuss no more, really. Like that.
We don't really fuss like that. But this is a very special episode because it kind of fits too neatly into the wheelhouse of what we're supposed to do here, right? It's pop culture, it's black people, it's we talk about it, right?
Yeah.
We certainly respect everybody's opinion on this if it's reasoned,
right?
If you can point your whatever and put your shit out there and it's reasoned, even if I disagree with your take, I will respect the fact that you had a legitimate thought process and wasn't just being reactionary about the shit. Because I saw a lot of that this week. People really have, and they didn't disappoint me because I knew you motherfuckers.
Nah, facts. Like it's almost a week prior now. There's no reason for you to still have a visceral reaction.
Exactly. But again, y'all was doing a lot this week. It's so noted here, it'll never go away. It's noted. I saw it. You can't unsee it. But I appreciate you guys for coming here, struggling with us through this shit. Everybody had their own takes, their own opinion of what they would do, what they would not do, how much importance this is. We appreciate that shit from y'all because that sort of feedback is what allows us to continue doing this show, and it really adds to the content. As a reminder, do not forget to go and check out Jaded Nerd's channel. He does a celebrity gossip beat, amongst other things. I'm pretty sure he has some take on this as well.
He's talked about it. His latest video about it was, I wish I can forget everything about Will and Jada. I don't know. I don't know the contents. I didn't watch it. But that was the headline.
That's funny. That's funny. Also, do not forget to check out the Metas and Mutants. And of course, we have hopefully by some point this week, our store will open back up. And then we can focus on some more merch that we can throw up there. And if you find something that's interesting to you and you want to help support Team Majestic Comics, because that's the team I'm on, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to go help us with that, we would certainly appreciate that. And also for my Patreon members on there, we're going to get you guys out another podcast this month. Like I said, it's going to be, we're trying to fit it in because we actually possibly may have this huge interview coming up in another week or so. So that'll be dope. We'll let you get you more information on that as it goes along. But anything else you wanted to? Oh yeah. By the way, SBJ, I shared it on my Facebook page. SBJ has a new show, and I think it's like the first show on the Multi-World channel. Period.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
There have been clips of BCG, but there hasn't been any actual show.
Right.
Also, I started making these plans because of a comment that he made. I haven't talked to him specifically about these plans, but as long as everything goes the way that I expect, Cyrus will also be a part of this show.
Nice. All right. So explain to them real quick what you're gonna be doing on the show.
All right. So basically, this show is an idea that it kind of comes from an idea that I've been having since basically I've been doing content. It's kind of like a anti-critic show where, you know, critics have a very specific very specific way that they tend to look at things.
Right.
And I am generally not a fan of that.
Right.
So I come at how I critique media. I try to come at it from an objective point where I'm analyzing it for what it is and what it's trying to be versus what I think it should be or what I want it to be.
Right.
So it is possible, unless Cyrus does it, that there won't be any MCU things on here.
Right.
I do not know. I don't feel like I'm necessarily objective enough to to do those types of videos. So likely if they exist, they will be from Cyrus. And another thing, it's not only reviews, it's like a concept. And I find
you're going to be a deconstruction of certain media.
It's going to be the good version of the thing that we talk about people doing all the time. About where they have something they want to talk about, and then something comes up, so they use that to talk about it.
Yes.
But it's the good version.
Yes.
I had this first episode, first official episode.
I might guest star on there sometimes too. I don't know.
I mean, come on now. So first, the intro is up already, but this first episode, I believe, is going up tomorrow.
Okay.
The idea, I have a particular take on reboots. I read a portion of this script on the show that we talked about reboots and whatnot. So, but there's absolutely more. Clearly, that wasn't the whole script. But yeah, I wanted to talk about reboots. This show happened to be out, and I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Right.
So yeah.
Absolutely. So we are, of course, all looking forward to that. So please go and support that. If you have not subscribed to the official Multi-World Entertainment channel, please go ahead and do it at your earliest convenience. And we would appreciate your support greatly. So, for my man SPJ,
you
and my other guy Adequate, I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And for the greater multi-world entertainment family, and do not be deceived if I run into a big ass bag of money. James is not going back to work. It's not happening. Peace.